basically what we do. It's we bring you the action really from an audio standpoint. So
we are pleasant guys to look at, if I may say so.
Not bad.
However, I'd rather be looking at the action too.
Yeah, I understand. Listen, I understand. I saw Debbie and Raymond. I get it. I'd like you to see the action too. But we appreciate that you're with us. Mark Munch Bishop, yours truly, Dave DeNatale here at Lions Stadium. 5-1 Benedictine, right in the thick of things in their playoff chase, whereas NDCL losing here at home to Padua last week, 17-16, as we got a flag down. Somebody for the Lions in the middle of the snap count backpedaled a step. Now the officials, it should be an illegal formation, although I think NDCL's head coach Andrew Mooney is saying no, and I think Mooney was able to get it. Say no, he was within his rights to do the step back from the tight end position.
I mean, you have to have 7 on the line, but
yes.
Other than that, that's why when you have trips, these guys are off the line of scrimmage.
Pistol formation for the Lions, and yet they will do the step back. I think it's Martin Cozier who will do the step back. 1st and 10 here for the Lions, and the give will go on the right side. I'm not sure if that was Robinson or not. It might have been Wynn. It'll go out to right back to the line of scrimmage. If anything, they may have lost a half yard. It'll be 2nd down and long anyway.
Johnny Wynn, a senior, got some good leadership there. And what is he? He's a running back. He's a wide receiver. He's a slot back. He's a DB.
Yeah, he's Mr. Everything, and he can play some defense at times too when they need him. So they'll move it back to the 35, loss of a yard. It is 2nd down and 11, and Jack Robinson will return to the field. And Spencer Jacobson will move out here on the near side right. And you've got a receiver over on the left side. Now 2 backs in the backfield.
And, something to remember, talking to the guys in the strips for the game, they said, bunch of you guys picked a good game. Actually, the fans did.
Yeah, the fans did. We just kind of suggested this, that the play will go near a 1st down and close to a 1st down. Win on the keeper, and he takes it across the 45, and they'll mark him for a 1st down at the NDCL 46-yard line. Nice running inside by Johnny Wynn. Again, 5'8", 165 pounds. Not a big guy, but he knows how to read his blocks. And as a receiver, he knows how to run after the catch when you get the football in him.
And Batelski tracked him down from his tackle position, jumped on his back, and wrestled him to the ground. But one thing to think of, Dino, last 5 years, this game has come down to a last score.
Funny you mentioned that. Oh, nice move by Sharp on the read option, and he'll take it across the 50-yard line into Benny territory and down to the 45, close to another 1st down. Thomas Jolly Jr., the defensive tackle, on the stop for the Bengals. But a nice drive here as we approach now 4 minutes to go in the 1st quarter by the Lions after getting the goal line stand. And this has been a clock-sustaining drive, exactly, I think, what Andrew Mooney wants here. Keep that high-powered Bengal offense off the field.
Well, they're doing everything correctly, and some good blocking down in the trenches, too, by the Hogs.
Shotgun for quarterback John Sharp. Robinson to his right. 2nd down and about a half yard at the Benny 45. Sharp's going to keep it. 1st down as he'll plunge forward to the 41-yard line and get knocked down ahead at the 40. That is a 1st down for the NDCL Lions as they keep things moving here.
Dino,
we approach late in this 1st quarter.
The Lions' line is not that big, but they're getting a shove. They're pushing the Bengals back 2-3 yards.
Yeah, this has been very impressive.
But it's good for another Lion.
Yes, all sorts of substitutions here for NDCL. And Sharp's going to come out. First time we'll see now Jimmy Mitchell in at quarterback. And as we said, Mitchell he's only thrown 3 passes this year, but he's an effective runner, and he's also a very good receiver. Mitchell gets the snap on 1st down. He will keep it on the read option. He breaks an initial tackle, but then brought down, maybe got a half yard running left side out near the 41-yard line, but good pursuit by the Bengal defense coming over on that right side to make the stop.
Patelski had a handful of jersey and just held on to him again. Be that anchor and stop him. Interesting to see, too, on the sideline of the Latin Lions. Tristan O'Brien, he's just a junior. He's quarterback, tight end, long snapper, linebacker. He's doing a lot of the signaling for the plays along with Coach Bruno.
Sharp back in at quarterback. They'll say no gain on that Mitchell run. 2nd down and 10 for the Lions. As tight end Max Zart will backpedal, now go in motion left to right. From the pistol, The give is to Robinson, running left side, then shifts inside the 40 and takes it down to the 37. So give him about 4 on that carry, and it'll set up a 3rd and 6 as we approach 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter.
Interesting. Ran with his head down, had a nice little gainer. However, if he would have had his head up, the right side of the field was all open. He needed one cut to get there.
Again, more subs here for NDCL, including Sharp out. Mitchell over to quarterback now. And David Martin Cozier will go out wide left. Boy, a late Lion checking in. Nick Balo just got in there in time. Play clock at 10. 3rd and 6 for the Lions. High snap. Sharp will go right side to Wynn, who's tackled by the helmet, it looked like, but brought down behind the line of scrimmage back at the 42. I thought John Sharp had come out, but he's back in there and just trying a little swing out pass to Wynn, but it was well read by the Bengals, and whoever made that tackle, very fortunate to not grab the face mask.
A little high that time. You know, it's interesting because, you know, you see horse collars in the pros get flagged, non-existent in high school and college, so I think they should call it.
It's a loss of 3. Actually, make that a loss of 5 on that tackle. So I didn't see who made the tackle for the Bengals, but give him credit because now NDCL is going to punt the football away as Andre Rogers for Benedictine will go back in single safety at his 10.
It was Merrill, the linebacker.
Yeah, it was a great play. That ball will go inside the 10-yard line. Great punt, and it will be down inside the 10. David Martin Cozier is the punter. They've used 3 different punters this year, so I had to kind of hesitate to see who was going to get it. But Martin Cozier with a terrific punt, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Bengals inside their own 10 at the 9-yard line with just 49 seconds to go in a rapidly moving first quarter. No score.
Keeping it on the ground. Interesting, too, with the Bengals back at their own 9. They're not really a deep threat team. They like to roll out the quarterback, throw it to the sidelines.
Yeah.
Good, secure, passing that way. We'll see. And also they can pound the football, too, because they got one heck of a running back there.
All right. Ronnie Schultz with Jalen Edwards in the backfield. He'll shift over to the left to Schultz. First down, and Edwards will get the carry. Edwards goes middle of the field, crosses the 10, and takes it out near the 13-yard line. Might even give him an extra yard on top of that. So about 5 on that first down run. Second down and 5.
You want one first down here just to give you some room, just to the goalposts aren't staring down in the back, and just so some breathing room so you can run some normal plays. Right now, I look like I said, they run the best, the Bengals, right through the tackles, between the tackles.
Phil's call it 4. Maybe even a little more than that. Edwards will get it again. And this time he will go across the 15, take it out to about the 17-yard line. And that will bring the first quarter to a close, and it'll be 3rd down and about 2. Actually, credit, that was Gary Merrill on that last carry. So I'll give Gary credit there for that run. That will do it for the first quarter here at Lions Stadium here in beautiful Chardon. The end of the first quarter. NDCL 0, Benedictine 0. With Mark Munch Bishop, I'm Dave DeNatale here on 3 News Facebook Live. We're also embedding here on WKYC.com and on our 3 News app. Happy to have everybody with us tonight. Sorry about the bit of a technical issue, but we're good to go now and enjoying this one here. In a game that the record, Munch, is so important. That 17-16 loss for NDCL last week moved them to Padua, moved them all the way down to 14th in their computer region. And, they still have to play Hoban before the year's over. They've already got 3 losses in the last game of the season. And, I don't want to say their playoff chances are over, but they were dealt a pretty severe blow by the Bruins last week. So I was curious to see tonight how the Lions, this isn't a homecoming game, but it kind of has that feel to it with all the alumni back here tonight, here on kind of the Bring Back the Lions night. And NDCL has come out and they played fired up, especially on the defensive side of the football. They bended a little bit, but they didn't break, and they put together a nice offensive drive that stalled, but they really controlled the clock there for most of that first quarter.
You had a shake-off last week. I mean, again, they know this is going to be another tight game. They've got to play it, and they're just going to keep winning and take it from there.
Under center, Schultz on 3rd down and a couple. And they're going to go to Merrill, and he's not going to get the first down. He is brought down short of the 20-yard line. He needed to cross the 19 at least to get the first down. He did not make it. And another good job by the NDCL front seven of stacking up Benedictine on a short yardage situation. They did it at the goal line earlier in this first half, and they're going to force Benny to have to punt the football away, and looks like they're going to get their good field position right back.
They need to be proud because they collapsed in the middle. They are smaller than the Bengals front line. But the bottom line is they made sure to put hats on the ball carrier.
Christian Cora to punt the football back at his own 3-yard line, win in single safety at the Benny 49, and the kick is almost blocked. It's a wobbly punt. It's going to bounce out of bounds at about the 42-yard line of Benedictine. I give Christian Cora a lot of credit, the fact he even got that punt away. Good surge by the NDCL special teams, but the Lions are going to pick up pretty much where they left off, Munch, so they've maintained the field position, and they've got a first down at the Benny 42.
Something very cool, and again, we wish we could show you. We wish you were here with us.
I do too, yes.
Stadium in Chardon at NDCL, but the Lions on the side of those purple helmets have that gold hue to them, and they just look unbelievable.
A couple of the players are wearing gold shoes tonight too. Snazzy.
You got to do them.
Absolutely.
Bishop boys are more into the silver.
Hey, what? No. Sharp gives to Edwards on first down to the 20. He's inside the 30, I should say, to the 29. Make that win on the carry. And Johnny Wynn with a good surge picks up a first down for the NDCL Lions at the Benedictine 29-yard line. That is a gain of 13 yards for Johnny Wynn, who's running the football very well here in the first half.
One man between him and the goal line, between Wynn and the goal line, it was Matthew Stauffer, who's also a backup quarterback. The senior got the job done that time.
And this time, Sharp on an option look. He's going to keep it at the 25 and falls forward just shy of the 20-yard line. They'll mark him down at about the 22, but John Sharp gets about 7 on that carry, and it sets up a second down and short.
I love a 2nd and 3, don't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Perhaps
The playbook expands, especially if you're in the red zone now. So, again, wholesale subs, as they like to do. And among those back in there is Jack Robinson. He'll go back to the backfield. 2nd and 3 for the Lions at the Benedictine 21. From the pistol. And before Sharp can get the play off, Andrew Mooney, the head coach of the Lions, says, give me a timeout.
Why not? You know, you've got you're using your first one up.
Yeah.
You've got such a huge play. Say, how's it 2nd and 3? Because you could do just about anything you want.
Oh, totally.
Yes.
Yeah, so, and it's funny, I'm almost surprised, and they may use the timeout here. I was almost surprised that we didn't see Jimmy Mitchell go into the backfield. But with Mitchell, when you have both he and Sharp on the field at the same time, it opens up so many possibilities as a play caller, because Mitchell can he can beat you running that read option. I watched him do it a bunch in warm-ups. He can beat you as a quarterback running that read option. As a runner, he can beat you, certainly. And as a wide receiver, he's one of their leading receivers this year, 8 catches for 134 yards.
And again, we have to shout out everyone involved with Notre Dame-Cathedral Latin for, it was royalty coming here today.
Absolutely. By the way, who got the best parking spot of anybody at Lions Stadium? Mark Munch Bishop. Deservedly so. You should.
The great Geauga County Sheriff took care of it.
Yeah. 2nd and 3. Again, Sharp for the quarterback. He's got Robinson in the backfield. Play fake. The left one looking right. Martin Kosher's open, and it is incomplete at the 5-yard line as he collided with Matthew Stauffer, the aforementioned Matthew Stauffer. They kind of collided going for that football. No interference call, and it will be 3rd and 3.
Let me tell you about Stauffer. He's a senior. He's a safety, 5'10", 166, but he's got wisdom. And that's what he stayed there. But if you noticed, another cornerback was on the receiver that time too.
So he could play. So that way he could play the ball. You're exactly right.
I love the play though. Take a shot in the end zone on 2nd and 3.
Ball at the left hash. 3rd and 3 for NDCL at the Benedictine 21. The throw will go right side, incomplete at the 15-yard line, but a late flag as they were trying to go on a slant to win. And I wonder if it's where the flag was thrown.
I don't think Wynn got grabbed.
I didn't either,
but for that football.
But that's about when the flag was thrown, when Wynn was trying to get separation.
Can we get that play over to 76 Rosa Boulevard?
Yes.
It's like slant.
Yes. Well, they're all worried about how to get the ball to Odell Beckham. Try a slant.
There you have it.
Offensive pass interference. Probably we have a referee's mic tonight. You never get a referee's mic in high school football. I love it. But that is a costly penalty against NDCL. That is going to back them up. Let's see. They haven't marked off the penalty yet. It was 3rd and 3. And now they're going to move the football from the 21 of the Bengals all the way back to the 30, near the 36. It's essentially a 15-yard penalty.
Was this on win and had to?
Had to be.
I didn't
Had to
see
be.
him do anything.
I didn't either. And Andrew Mooney is. And now the referee is going to go over and talk to Coach Mooney and explain the call. Andrew Mooney, the head coach of NDCL, and Jarrett Good in his first year as head coach of Benedictine, a former assistant for the Bengals and a former player for the Bengals. Really in the glory days, Munch, in the mid-90s on Augie Basu's last team, he was a part of it and then went on to play for Jim Tressel at Youngstown State when they won the national championship in 1AA.
You know, I had.
And now I think we have another timeout here, Munchie.
It sure looks like it.
Yeah.
And it looks like Mooney has called it again. We'll check the timeout slip for you.
Scores from around the area here. As we,
Strongsville guys. Strongsville Medina tonight, right?
Yeah, they're playing exactly right. Menor leads Brunswick in the first quarter 14-0. Over at Osborne Stadium. Euclid shutting out Solon in the first, 10-0. Aurora in the second quarter shutting out Barberton, 14-0. Didn't see that coming.
Whoa. That's 14-0?
Yes, good start for Bob Mahalick's Green Men. Avon leading North Olmsted 10-0 in the first quarter. Streetsboro over Coventry 14-0 in the second quarter.
What a great story that is.
Yes, yeah. Streetsboro they're legit. We wanted to try to get them on in the regular season. Hold that thought for a second. Kenston in a revenge game, shutting out Chardon 14-0 in the second quarter.
Did we call that?
Yes. They're marking off the penalty again.
Now they're getting rid of the penalty, right?
Well, no. Now they're saying it's only a 5-yard penalty. They're moving the football to the 27-yard line.
I have never seen a pass interference be 5 yards.
I haven't either. I'm still confused here.
So it looks like
third
and 8.
So it will be 3rd and 8. Now, as you might expect, you might expect Jarrett Good wants an explanation over on the far side, and now they've got to get the yard marker up. So they're saying it's 4th and 8, so it's a loss of down, and NDCL is going to try a field goal. This would be, they're going to mark it at the 44-yard attempt. Ball down, kick up, line drive is short, no good. Gianni Spedic was 3 for 5. Before that miss, his long for the year 28 yards, but he's not able to convert there. Benedictine has a field goal kicker by the name of Chardon.
Saw him last week.
Yes, he has hit from 45 this year. When these two teams played in this stadium 2 years ago, he hit one from 45 yards at the end of regulation to force overtime in a game that the Bengals ended up winning.
The kid could kick. He get get his toe into it. And, it's interesting, too, because there's so much more that goes into it.
We've got no score here at Lions Stadium. Benedictine had the best drive so far the first half. They had it first and goal inside the 5-yard line and a fourth and goal at the 1, but could not punch it in.
Interesting, too. Like I said, the undersized Lions came out crawling that time. Well, we'll see what Benedictine does. Looks like we had a jump on the left side, but no call.
Schultz to throw, looks left side, pass caught at the 40-yard line to the 43 to the 44 is Chris Gales. And a first down on a beautifully thrown ball by Ron Schultz. And Gales able to run under it and make the catch. That is going to be a gain of 28 yards.
Cooper Allison was right there. He slapped himself on the helmet. One thing you don't see, Dino, but on all levels now, you kind of look back for that football.
Yes.
Okay? He was stride for stride with them. He couldn't have been any closer without a flag, but he didn't turn around to look for the ball.
Jalen Edwards will move next to Schultz. And in motion goes Gary Merrill. First down, it's Edwards running left side, 40 to the 50. He goes out of bounds in NDCL territory at the Lion 46-yard line. That is another first down for Benedictine as Jalen Edwards, who's approaching 1,000 yards already on the season, came into tonight with 843, and he's got a good gain on that one as they'll mark it right at the Lion 45-yard line.
Nice blocking by Charles Rosser. He's a wide receiver at 6'3", 205. He was able to get those limbs out there and get some guys pushed away.
As Schultz fakes it on the read option, he'll swing it over, pass caught on the right side, inside the 40, down to about the 38-yard line. I think it was Angelo Lott on the catch. It was. And Lott, the wide receiver, with his 19th catch of the year, and they'll mark it at the 39-yard line for a gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
Dino, I'm not a conspiracy guy. However, the first try by the Bengals that got him down to the goal line was pretty vanilla, running between the tackles. Now they're throwing to receivers. Now they're running wide. Now they're doing a little screens. Now they're mixing it up a lot more.
Back on the ground. Here comes Edwards in a big hole. He's to the 20, 15, 10, 5, and in for the touchdown. 39-yard run for Jalen Edwards, his 13th touchdown of the year. And the Benedictine Bengals strike first and lead it 6-0.
No question about that one at all. And Dino, as I mentioned to you before the game, where did he go? Nothing fancy. Went between a guard and a tackle.
Yeah.
And bang, before he knew it, he was in the second level and banged and he was
Yeah,
gone.
Beltovsky and Black at center and right guard opened up a big hole for Jalen Edwards, who had a couple of nice runs to set up that 39-yard touchdown. Here is the aforementioned Yvonne Chardon for the extra point. Good snap, good hold. The kick is up, and he powers that one through. Timeout with 8:25 to go in the first half, and Benedictine now on top, 7-0 after the 39-yard touchdown run by Jalen Edwards. So,
a drive, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was that drive that started at their own 15-yard line in Munch. It just seemed like once they got the pass to Gales, that kind of loosened up the Bengals a little bit, and they went back to their bread and butter running the football with Jalen Edwards, and it worked out very, very well.
I won't say the quarterbacks of Latin were on their heels, but they were more aware that of the receivers took them a little bit more time to get up to help support the run.
Speaking of which, NDCL is they get back on the field here and we get ready for the kickoff as they will send the Lions David Martin Cozier and of course Johnny Wynn back deep to receive. Did you ever go to one of the charity games at the old stadium?
Brother, I went too many. Anywhere from 35 on a low end, 55,000 people.
Now I was reading. I mean, they were sellouts at one point. I'm trying to get the
right after the war,
1946, the Cathedral Latin was a sold-out game against Holy Name in the 1946. But I mean, such a great Catholic school tradition in Northeast Ohio, and they wanted to bring up that element here tonight to this football game.
It's interesting because it wasn't east-sided, west-sided thing. Once in a while, you see a Colin would sneak in with a Epi Barney who played for the Browns, something like that. But it turned out most of the time to be Benedictine Latin.
Here's the reverse. Mitchell will get it from Martin Kosher, running left side to the 25-30. He's out to the 34-yard line and pushed out of bounds there. But a little bit of trickery there on that special teams. David Martin Kosher caught that kick and then gave it on the reverse to Jimmy Mitchell. And a pretty good start here for the Lions as they'll have it near their own 35.
And Mitchell was the quarterback. We told you to watch out because he can run the football too. But you know what? It's like not haunting me, but it's just pleasant memories. The cheerleaders for both squads as you went through the season, the big chant would be, hey, what do you say? We'll be there on Turkey Day.
That's pretty awesome.
And here's what's awesome. I remember that, but the wife will say, you bring home a quart of milk.
No, you can't. No. But you don't. No. You remember the important details. You remember the important details.
Yeah, like Al Shattin's.
Right.
That's run in 1963.
The stuff that matters. Sharp and company ready to go first down for NDCL. They'll go on the ground on first down and another big hole as NDCL will get it out to the 42. Johnny Wynn on the carry. They've used him quite a bit tonight as a runner, more so than a receiver. They'll actually mark him short of the 42 at the 41. But it's a gain of about 7 on first down for Johnny Wynn.
The right side of the line totally blew a hole open for him, and not just that, but they just pushed the Bengals back 3-4 yards. Wynn read it nicely.
Another second and short, second and about 3 here. As Sharp gets that snap, sets up the option. He pitches it away from Wynn, and basically Wynn's got to tap it out of bounds to keep that football alive, but that's going to be quite a significant loss. Might go all the way back to the 35, to the original line of scrimmage. I think it is.
Was that? I didn't. It might have been Angelo Lott.
I think it was. Yeah, wearing number 4 who came over. Yeah. He did perfect. He got between the quarterback and the pitch man and disrupted it. That's one where I think John Sharp's just got to eat the football and take the no gain.
Bro, with that ball bouncing, that's why there's points on the ball. You don't know what's going to happen. They're going to bounce right up. I don't know what it could have, should have, but there was a good chance that was in the card.
So now it's, instead of being a 3rd and short, it's 3rd and 10. Sharp trying to draw Benedictine off sides. He's back to throw. Steps up, in trouble. He's going to tuck. He's going to run. He'll take it back to the 40 and to the 41-yard line. So basically back to the original line of scrimmage, but again, you're going to be a few yards short of the first down, and it'll be 4th and about 3.
Gary Merrill tracked him down. Great pursuit.
Boy, we're calling his number a lot tonight, aren't we?
Yeah, going from right to left in a big, big way, and he got there in a hurry.
Andrew Mooney, I'm sure would love to go for it here, but playing the percentages, he's going to punt the football away, so.
Boy, 4th and 3, you just don't.
Yeah, not on your side of the field.
Yeah.
We see other teams sometimes do it, but it's a close ball game, and you want to keep it that way. So David Martin Kosher will punt the football to Andre Rogers, who's the single safety for Benedictine in his own 29.
Rogers is elusive.
Yeah, good snap.
Space.
Good high kick. Rogers backpedals, makes the catch. That's 24, drops the football, and it's picked up by the Lions at the 28-yard line of Benedictine. Well, as we said, it was a high kick, and Rogers really had to camp out and wait for it. And ends up being a turnover. I think that was Tristan O'Brien who made the recovery for Notre Dame-Cathedral Latin, who gets a big break and a 1st and 10 at the Bengal 28-yard line.
I love the fact that Rogers did fair catch. However, young fella, you don't use your chest to catch the football. You use your hands, then you bring it in. He went first to cradle against his chest, but that thing hit and just pounced right off.
All right.
Throw it in the end zone right now, Dino. Don't fool around.
From the 28, 1st and 10. Out of the pistol. Sharp's got it. Rolls left. Throw back pass right. Caught by Edwards at the 20. He goes to the 15. Flag down at the 10-5. Touchdown. Yep. Jack Robinson. I said Edwards. I apologize. That was Jack Robinson. It would be a 28-yard touchdown, but both Munch and I think this is going to come back. And that's a shame.
Yeah.
What a great call on that first down. A throwback pass right. John Sharp was rolling left. He threw back to his right to Jack Robinson, who had all kinds of real estate in front of him. And this will depend on, we'll see what the call is. One would assume it's going to be a holding, though, against the Lions.
And the problem is the hold sprung him as he came to his left.
And I think that's what the officials, they're having another conference here. That's, I think if you're counting at home, that's their third conference of the first half.
And
I think they're trying to figure out the spot of the foul.
And you know what I love? Andrew Mooney is in the Steve Trevisano mode. And what's that? When you're home, you're allowed to go on the field just shy of the hash mark.
An eligible man downfield is the call.
But wait a minute, it was a screen pass.
It was a screen pass. I'm going to say Jeff Conforti, one of the offensive linemen, was the guilty party who was out there. I guess he had already gone out to try to lead block, and that must have been the call.
But you know what
I'll tell you, Conforti, assuming that was Conforti, and I think that was, he did his job opening up a lane there for Robinson. Oh, man.
I'll tell you what I do like, though. They went for a touchdown.
Yes, they did.
You get a turnover, you go for the juggler.
1st and 15, though, after the penalty, as Jack Robinson will get the carry, and he'll take it across the 25 and down to the 24. Gets 9 of those yards on a 1st and 15, so that'll bring up a 2nd and 6 on a quick hitter by Jack Robinson, who's running. I think with using Johnny Wynn as much as they have tonight as a runner, I think it's giving Jack Robinson a chance to be fresher, and he's been running the football well here.
6 foot, 200 pounds, only a junior. Keeps his legs moving at all times.
2nd and about 6. They'll go right back to Robinson. A big hole again. 15. He's to the 10. He's to the 5. It'll be 1st and goal as they put Robinson down at about the 3-yard line.
You know what they're doing, Dino, which I love? Andrew Mooney knows his game. Feed the beast.
Yes.
You don't take a kid out when he's running wild.
Timeout taken by the Bengals with 6:36 to go in the first half. It'll be 1st and goal for NDCL at the 4-yard line as a couple of Jack Robinson runs have set them up to try to tie this football game.
I like how that young man runs.
I do too.
Runs hard.
Runs hard and reads his blocks.
Goes off and keeps his legs moving. Even when he's getting hit, those legs are always moving forward. You know, I remember seeing the great Arch Griffin, and I will say the greatest player in the history of college football. Show me
until somebody gets another Heisman Trophy.
Thank you.
Yes.
You know, and Arch told me one-on-one one time, tell me this is the kind of good guy he is. He goes, you know, Munch, I wish someone else would win the second so someone else could experience what I did in my life. How cool is that?
That's gonna be hard to do. You know, honestly, in this age of college football with kids who don't stay for their senior year, it's going to be hard for somebody to ever do that.
The Arch would keep his legs moving to the point. I've seen him run backwards 8 yards into the end zone.
Mitchell and Balo will go out wide left. Wynn is in the backfield.
Not throwing it wide left, Dino.
Yeah, Martin Kosher will go out wide right. 1st and goal at the 4. The give. Wynn up the gut and takes it to just inside the 3-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal from that spot. Yes, he did.
He hit a stone wall that time.
So 2nd and goal. Benedictine on the strength of a touchdown run by Jalen Edwards. Lead at 7-0, 39-yarder. The Lions poised to try to tie the football game. 2nd and goal from the 3. Sharp option, keeps it, tucks inside, goes near the goal line but did not get in. They're going to mark him down inside the 2 towards the 1. It'll be 3rd down and goal from there. And now Jack Robinson will check back into the football game.
You know what? This is 4-down territory.
Oh, I think so.
Robinson, especially when Robinson is your running back.
Well, Robinson's your running back. You're 3-3. You know, yeah, I agree with you.
You're on the 2-yard line.
There's somebody late checking out here for the Lions.
Got off.
3rd and goal for NDCL. High snap. Sharp pulls it down. He wants to throw. Rolls right. Throws. It's intercepted at the goal line out at the 5-yard line. On the interception is Matthew Stauffer for Benedictine as they slam the door on a promising drive for NDCL. Wow.
You know, I could be a knucklehead and say that Pete Carroll sent that play in. I don't know. But the bottom line is you have Robinson. You run him 2 times. Again, you know, I'm not coaching. Andrew Looney's a great, great coach. But you feed him. You run him twice right into the middle of the line.
3rd interception of the year for Matthew Stauffer. And it slams the door on NDCL, who had it 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. And, you know, Wynn tried to get in on a 1st down, didn't get in, only got about a yard or so. And then Sharp kept it, got about a yard or so. And I wonder if that played it into thinking. It's like, okay, we'll try to pass here, and if we don't get it, then we can run Robinson on fourth down. But Robinson had run so well to set you up there inside the 5-yard line, and they did not go to him. And the Bengals, after the Stauffer interception, will take over at their own 7-yard line.
Well, they got to keep John Sharp's head up, okay, Mr.
Yes, they need him.
It's over. Yes.
Yeah, and some of his teammates are doing exactly that. They need him in this football game. And one of the Bengal offensive linemen late checking in, and that means Jarrett Good has to burn a timeout.
Interesting you mentioned Jarrett Good, former Benedictine player in the heyday. And this is not, a turf thing or anything, but Jarrett Good succeeded Carter Relo, who was an Ignatius guy.
Yeah.
And, I'll tell you something. Great fan base, great alumni association, the mob, the men of Benedictine. But Carter was just not accepted.
And you look, Munchie, at the staff for Jarrett Good. Mark Kobolinski, grad. Joaquim Good, grad. Joe Prevesic, apologies if I mispronounced his name. Daryl McClendon, graduate. David Porter, graduate. Brian Lacey, graduate. I mean, almost all but I think 2 or 3 of the assistants on the staff are graduates of the Bengals. And we're not saying you have to do it. But
look at this, the president. Oh, you'll recognize the last name, Mr. Frank Bossou.
Yeah, I know that name well.
Principal, Ryan Risner, 95.
It's family.
Yeah.
1st and 10 at the 7. Schultz to throw. Guns one over the middle. Pass caught at the 20. Out to the 25. Sidestepping to the 30-yard line. It's Brosser. He'll go all the way out to the 39. Actually make that Chris Gales. Trying to look down on field view. It's a first down. And out to the 39-yard line. It's a gain of 32 on a beautiful pass by Ronnie Schultz.
I noticed last week against Hoban, Benedictine started pulling some of the passes away from Rosser, who has prolific stats.
I'm looking over at John Sharp on the bench, and they're his coaches, his teammates are he was the only man on the bench, and one of the assistants said, "Hey, John, get up, keep throwing." And I just watching as they're motioning.
Football game, it's going to happen.
Long way to go in this one. 5 minutes to play, first half. 7-0 Benedictine. They've got the football now at their own 39 after the 32-yard pass to Chris Gales. Shotgun, Schultz to throw. He's got time. Over the middle. Pass is caught. This time it's Rosser. He's got a lot of room to the 40. He's to the 30. Rosser steps inside the 20 to the 15, and he will take it all the way for the touchdown.
61-yard touchdown reception. And you call that rack. Run after
yes.
Probably about 50-50 to pass and the run.
For Ronnie Schultz, that is his 15th touchdown pass of the year, and for Charles Rosser, his 9th touchdown catch. And that was a beautiful display of open field running by Charles Rosser.
Well, Rosser wants to get the football, and indeed, they're making sure that he does get it. 4:47 left in the half. Bengals can push it to 14-zip.
Well, I think Rosser was feeling bad. Chris Gales had a couple of big catches. He's like, wait a minute, I want in on this. Here's the extra point for Yvonne Chardon. And that kick is up. It is good with 4:47 to play. And Munch,
about 30 yards to spare.
Yeah, almost hit some golf carts off on the track. But it's Munch. That essentially is a 14-point swing right there. NDCL had it 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. Didn't punch it in, had it intercepted. The Bengals come back, put together a 93-yard touchdown drive, capped off by the 61-yard touchdown pass from Schultz to Rosser. And instead of being 7-7, it's now 14-0 Bengals.
And Dino, think about this. Edwards, 39-yard run. Rosser, 61-yard reception.
Chunk plays.
It is the real estate right there between those two. My golly, guess what you have? 100 yards on 2 plays, and both resulted in scores.
Yeah. The big players are making the plays here tonight for the Bengals. Coming off of that crushing loss last week to Hoban, and wasn't crushing in terms of being a close game. I mean, they were blown out pretty good by the Knights, but they've come out and played very, very well here in this first half. 14-0, the Bengals lead the Lions.
Well, that section of Hoban there, right off of Lover's Lane, okay, with downfield, and that is the name of the road that I make my exit off of 77 South. But, lately they've been saying the nighttime is the right time.
Nighttime is the right time. By the by, I can tell everybody our finalists for next week's WKYC.com high school football game of the week.
What do you have?
You won't be with me, and I'm bummed about that. You have to go back to work with Hoban next Friday. First one will be a game that you'll be interested in. The Tigers from Massillon, Washington at Barberton. That's one of the three. As the kickoff will sail towards the end zone, and that is going to be a touchback. Again, Yvonne Chardon could probably have kicked that another 5 yards out if he wanted to. Also, big game, especially in Region 10. Holy Name will be at Elyria Catholic. That's a big game for the Panthers, too. They still have playoff aspirations, but Holy Name is right in the thick of the playoff race. Also staying in that Region 10, the Bay Rockets at the Rocky River Pirates.
Oh, whoa. The border skirmish.
Yes. Monday at noon, you can log on to WKYC.com, also on your 3 News app, and you can vote. Voting will open on Monday around noon. It will close Wednesday at 3 o'clock, and then Tyler Carey and I will let you know at 5 o'clock where we're headed. On first down, it's a pitch out. It's Wynn going to right side, and he'll take it out to the 25, and then, got wrestled down once he got there by Matthew Stauffer, who is all over the field right now.
And he helps Wynn up there.
Yeah,
that's what it's
good
all about,
sportsmanship.
my friend. Oh, yeah. I'm going to put a lick on you, and I'll help you up. Now, I might have said, you come here, I'm going to do it again, but
yeah.
I'm going to help you up.
Stauffer, arguably with the play of the night so far with that interception at the goal line. Gain of 8, though, for Wynn on first down as we approach 4 minutes to play in the first half. 14-0 Bengals. Lions on the move on a 2nd and 2. Back on the ground as they will go. Sharp will keep it, and he will get the first down to the 35-yard line on a nice read option. Everybody thinking it was going to Johnny Wynn, and John Sharp kept it and got the first down.
You know, Sharp needed something like this.
Yes, he did.
To get a little bit of mojo back, to get some confidence back. Again, you threw the football. I didn't like it. You had Robinson in the backfield. The bottom line, it's happened. It's over. Bang.
Yep. Jack Robinson will check back into the game. 1st and 10 for the Lions now at their own 36. 14-0 Benedictine on top. Off of the pistol, fake to Robinson, Sharp to throw, looks, he's got a man open, and it's caught at the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, to the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and in for the touchdown is David Martin Kosher from 64 yards.
You gotta love it.
Boy, you just said a moment ago, it's what John Sharp needed. A beautifully thrown ball to David Martin Kosher, who took one of the Bengals with him for about a 10-yard ride into the end zone for the touchdown. For John Sharp, his 7th touchdown pass of the season. For David Martin Kosher, that is his 3rd touchdown catch. And with 3:33 to go in the first half, Benedictine's lead has been cut to 14-6. Gianni Spedic will kick the extra point here. Sharp is the holder. Ball down. Kick up on its way. It is good. And Gianni Spedic is now 20 for 20 this year on PATs. Not bad at all. 14-7. Benedictine over the Lions. Again, a 64-yard touchdown pass from John Sharp to David Martin Kosher.
Dino, a couple things there. Number one, you have to answer. You can't go down in halftime 14-0 or even 21-0.
Agreed.
Number two, they answered in 1 minute and 14 seconds. In other words, it's like, you know what, touche. No, coming back.
And you know what, Andrew Mooney, in 2 plays, let his quarterback, who was disheartened after the interception, gave him the run, and then let him throw a bomb.
Now, I'm going to tell you
That's
something.
good coaching right there.
That ball was beautiful.
It was a beautiful throw.
Air underneath.
Yep.
It caught the receiver in stride, and you got to shout out the receiver too, because my golly, he got behind the Benedictine.
Yeah, David Martin Kosher got behind the Benedictine player, and then once he caught up with him, and it may have been Angelo Lott, but basically it became a 10-yard tug of war to get to the end zone. I thought he might be down too, and David Martin Kosher refused to be brought down.
Good stuff on Sharp's part. Good stuff on Kosher. Good stuff for the Notre Dame-Cathedral Latin Lions.
Good response here, and that got the crowd that had been a little disheartened at Lions Stadium on their feet here. As with 3:33 to go in the first half, it's a 7-point lead again for the Bengals.
I guarantee you, Jericho's going to say, hey, we got to use that 3:33 to go back down and score.
Yep.
I want to be up by 2 on the road.
Spedic will kick it off. Andre Rogers back deep to receive. And actually, Rogers will let somebody step in front of him, make the catch at the 10, out to the 20, and put down at the 24-yard line. Let's see. Who was that?
Rosser?
Yeah, it was Rosser. It's exactly who that was.
Rosser can run. We just saw his open field prowess last time down. Very important defensive stand now for the ND.
For the Lions. I completely agree because they will get the football to start the second half, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, because Benedictine won the toss
and wanted the football.
Which to me, that's what you should do.
Enough
of this.
Tony Grossi would agree. Our guy Tony Grossi would agree.
Yeah, he'd have. I mean, again, no one else would agree with me. General Pat. Did he
I know.
Defer? He never.
No,
deferred.
you don't defer. The ball will be spotted at the 24-yard line of the Bengals, 1st and 10. Benny, by the way, if you're wondering, has one timeout remaining here in this first half.
Up to my annex, pounding your shoulder and your eye.
I know. We have bruises after 2 weeks with Munch. My left shoulder is going to get a bruise here. On first down, a little end around. It's Andre Rogers, and well read by the Lions. They're going to put Rogers down back for a loss to the 23-yard line. Did not fool the linebackers over on the far side for NDCL.
And the linebacker, it's almost like defending a read option. They did not bite. They just kept stringing. And if he would have turned up, then they would have jumped him.
Nick Balo also from the safety position getting credit for that tackle. I think Degner was there as well. 2nd down and 11. As it will be now, Jalen Edwards shifting to the left of Schultz, who wants to throw. Quick drop, throws right side, pass caught, and you've got a receiver going down. You've got flag going down for what looks like a face mask at about the 30-yard line. I thought the receiver who caught it might have stepped out at the 26-yard line, but they said no, he kept his footing in.
I saw a head jerk, so let's see if indeed that was a face
And I think
mask.
that was Lott on the catch. Personal foul, face mask is the call against the Lions, and it's the right call, no question about it. And that will make it an automatic first down and move the football all the way up to the Benedictine 44-yard line.
Stops the clock, 2:45 left in the half. 14-7, the Bengals on top of the Lions.
Well, you're trying to get a stop, as Munch said before halftime, if you're NDCL, and you just shot yourself in the foot, though, with that penalty. They'll go to Edwards on first down, running to his right, makes a couple of nice moves, keeps his feet going, and finally gets put down at about the 47, maybe the 48-yard line.
Got 4 or 5 yards when he should have gotten 1 or 2.
Didn't want, and the prudent thing is a lot of times to go out of bounds, I'll go to bounds, stop the clock and everything, but Edwards wanted the extra yards and got rewarded. They're going to mark it at the 49, so they'll give him 5 on that carry.
What a picture-perfect evening,
it is a beautiful night in one of the really most beautiful settings for high school football in Northeast Ohio. 2nd and 5, back to Edwards, and he'll get the first down and a lot more. Running to his right, he gets to the 35-30, down the right sideline, and finally out of bounds. We'll see where they mark him out of bounds, near the 20-yard line, I believe. But another big run for Jalen Edwards. 1st and 10 for Benedictine, and just like that, with a minute 54 to go in the half, they're going to mark it at the 20-yard line.
29-yard run.
Yeah, big gainer.
The hallmark of the Bengals offense today, big plays.
By the way, Sean just told us Aurora now leading Barberton 21-7 at the half. Tyler Carey will have more scores for us coming up here as this half progresses. We appreciate, though, people passing scores. They want to read those here from the 20-yard line. Edwards will get it again, cuts inside, and then runs into a wall of white jerseys and is put down at the line of scrimmage. They may give him a half yard, and that's really about it. Clock keeps moving. We're down to a minute 40 to go in the first half. Remember, the Bengals have 1 timeout remaining.
They'll use it wisely, I guarantee you that, but the bottom line is 2nd and 9. What has been their forte has been really running with Edwards today. However, they will throw quick slants.
Or getting it slants to Gales. 2nd down. They'll look deep. End zone. It is caught. Touchdown Benedictine by Angelo Lott. Beautifully thrown ball by Ronnie Schultz. Just on a go route that time for Angelo Lott, and he made the touchdown catch. And the Bengals now lead it 20-7. That is a 19-yard hookup from Schultz to Lott. And Angelo Lott with his 2nd touchdown of the season.
Interesting to note, another perfectly thrown ball. Both quarterbacks have been leading their guys in stride. Again, good coverage by the DB of Latin.
Yeah, Schultz just put it on the money, and Angelo Lott, not a former senator, Angelo Lott got great separation there and got that touchdown catch. Here is the extra point, up and good by Yvonne Chardon. powers that one through. And with a minute 17 to go before halftime, the Bengals now back up by 14 as they lead at 21-7. Again, that was a 19-yard touchdown pass. Ronnie Schultz to Angelo Lott.
Now, this will be tantalizing for the Notre Dame-Cathedral Latin Lions. You get the ball depending on what kind of return.
I was going to say, if you get any kind of field position out of this, I think so. With 2 timeouts, I think so.
Now, we do know that Chardon will put the ball in the end zone, so they'll get it on the 25 to start things off.
Tyler Carey just told me Menor leads Brunswick 21-0 in the second quarter. And, I mean, it's a good Brunswick Blue Devil team.
Steve Trevisano's guys are going to the championship game this year, my friend.
Well, right now, they are in, and Tyler reminded me, we talked about it on our show Wednesday, they're ranked as high as 10th nationally in some of the polls right now. And they are steamrolling through this Greater Cleveland Conference. Now, yeah, they still have to deal with, amongst others, Strongsville and Euclid. But, I mean, Steve Trevisano's team is on a mission right now, and they are playing absolutely great football.
Steve retired.
Yes.
The Euclid Menor game is not going to be for the faint of heart. I will tell you.
No, because you got Jeff Rotsky on the other sideline. I mean, that's...
the best.
If you're talking 2 unbeaten teams at that point, and Euclid still obviously has work to do as well, but yeah.
Dino, it's almost like you want to tell Steve, please don't go. Please don't.
I know. I really do. You can't retire. The kick is caught at about the 8-yard line. They fake the reverse. That's Wynn keeping it, and Johnny will take it across the 20 to about the 25-yard line. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Lions there. 1:09 to go before halftime. 2 timeouts to work with.
Dino, I've noted this before, and it's kind of fun having someone who shared a roof with me. My oldest son played on special teams besides receiving for St. Ignatius. And Tim Shank was their kicker at the time, who thought nothing of 55-yard field goals. They would say, Timmy, put it at the 1 or 2 yard line. We will tackle the guy by the 5. Don't put it in the end zone. It's coming out to the 20.
Munch, I'll still never forget Shank's field goal in that playoff game in Brunswick. Against St. Edward. That was still one of the best games I've gotten a chance to call.
14-0.
Yeah, amazing game.
He had that amazing run.
Yeah. Back to action from the 25. Sharp wants to throw on 1st down. Lofts one. He overshot David Martin Kosher at the 40-yard line. Matthew Stauffer was over there on coverage. David Martin Kosher was open again. That time Sharp didn't make the connection. That'll stop the clock with 1:04 to go before halftime, 2nd and 10.
That'll put the ball up to the 40, 42-yard line.
Yeah.
10 for the 24.
But that answers the question on what Andrew Mooney wants to do before halftime. He's going to give his team a shot here. Now, the thing of it is, though, Munch, you want to make sure if you don't score or anything, you don't want to leave the Bengals with time. Already they lead. Benedictine does 21-7. Yeah. 2nd and 10. Sharp is going to run. Looks like a design quarterback draw, but he's going to be brought down nicely by Charles Rosser, the defensive end, at the 26-yard line for only a gain of 2. That was a fine play by Rosser, who, again, can beat you as a receiver, but also as a defensive end, has 4 sacks this year, and that was a beautiful play from his end spot.
Rosser is possessed today. Like I said, they took him out of the offense a little bit last week against Hoban. They put him back in, and he's making his presence felt on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, he's got a 61-yard touchdown catch, and that was a nice tackle there on defense. 3rd and long, the throw for Martin Kosher. He had it in his hands and couldn't hang on at the 44-yard line. Some traffic there as both Chris Gales and Matthew Stauffer were coming in there. David will probably look at the film tomorrow saying that was one he should have caught, but it's incomplete, and it sets up a 4th down.
Gales jumped the route, went through his hands, the ball did, and a lot of times those hands go up just enough to take
just to affect it.
The vision of that ball away. You got to hold on to that ball, though.
24 seconds to go. Clock is stopped. Martin Kosher will stay in to punt the football away, and Andre Rogers will be in single safety at his own 36. Last time he was back there, he fumbled a punt. Good snap, and David Martin Kosher will get the kick away, angles it to the right towards the Benedictine bench, and out of bounds at the 44-yard line.
They didn't want a chance to return. However, 16 seconds. You know what you do? You hand it off to Edwards to see what he can do.
Either that, or you try again one of those little slant routes to either Gales or Rosser. Why? I mean, the field position isn't bad. I mean, they're going to mark it, and they actually mark it, I think, closer to the 50-yard line here.
Wow, they're going to get great field
Where are they going to mark
position.
it?
Is it going to be?
Wow, they're going to mark it right at midfield, Munch, with 16 seconds to go. Benedictine has one timeout to work with. I think you try something in the middle of the field and then see if you can take a timeout. Remember, Chardon has made a 45-yard field goal this year. So you only need about 20 yards
2 shots and
to give him a shot here. Schultz wants to throw from the 50, under pressure. He's going to tuck and run to the 45, flag down at the 40. He goes to the 35 and out of bounds at the 30, but this is probably going to come back as a holding penalty. No way, the official just picked up his flag.
There's a little bit of a breeze, and I just lost both my roster.
Oh, well,
okay.
Not to worry. I have you covered.
Oh, look at that.
So they pick up the flag, and they mark Schultz down at the 31-yard line or so. 7 seconds to go. If they tried a field goal from here, it would be about a 50-yarder.
One more quick hit to the outside?
Yeah, I think so. Schultz will go under center. Edwards, the deep man in the backfield. 1st and 10. Here's a pitch out running right. Edwards going to run to the 25, out of bounds at about the 24. 1 second to go. Timeout. And we will see Yvonne Chardon in for a field goal attempt.
It'll be a 41-yarder.
That was a well-conceived 30-yard march by the Bengals.
Let's see if the ball's on.
They're going to mark it at the 25, actually, so it'll be about a 42-yard attempt. Chardon has made 3 kicks this year of over 40 yards on field goals.
How much fun is that?
I mean, you talk about a weapon, Munch. There are very few place kickers in Northeast Ohio who can do that. They'll mark it right about at the 31-yard line. It's a 41-yard attempt. Plenty of distance. It goes wide right, though. It is no good, and that will do it for the first half. So the score will stay Benedictine 21 and Notre Dame-Cathedral Latin 7 as we move to halftime here at Lions Stadium. And I will, folks, again, from where we are, it's going to be awfully hard for me to try to get the band here. I'm going to try my best to see if we can't get a picture of the band here for you, or a shot of the band if we can here. Let's see here. Oh, you're fine. Go ahead. Oh, life is good. All right, let's see here if we can rotate this bad boy here. Yeah.
You going to be able to get him?
I think so. Well, let's see. Just as I say that, yeah, for some reason my phone's been acting crazy all night here, so why not as I try to shoot the band here. All right. Well, unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to shoot the band here. So, Munch, you and I are going to stay on and talk here for a little bit.
All right, my friend, I have no problem with that.
I figured you would be all right with that. So we'll go ahead and hold the fort here now as we're at halftime. Tyler Carey will get some scores to us at some point here as well as we welcome you back here up to, we call it a broadcast booth, but if you can see where we're at here, it's a tent. And I got to tell you, the people at NDCL deserve a lot of credit. It's, they don't have a huge press box here. This is actually a beautiful field. At some point, I would imagine they'll do some more renovations here and they'll add on. But this is an excellent field and an excellent facility. But they don't have a lot of room in the press box. So, when you come out here and you say, boy, I want to come out and do a game at Notre Dame-Cathedral Latin, well, no problem, but do you mind sitting under a tent? No, I don't mind. I don't mind a bit. It's a beautiful night. So, to this point, the weather is held off. Thank you, Michael Estime. Thank you, Holly Strano. Thank you, Jason Frazier. Thank you, Matt Wintz, who's actually on vacation. And thank you, Betsy Kling, who's been at a conference all week, but our meteorologist at 3 News. So far, they have. They've kept it.
They helped the brothers out.
That's right. It's HBO. So, as we talk to everybody, I'm trying to see if I can track down Jay Crawford and see if he can come up and join us. Jay actually has. He is here. At least allegedly he's here. So I'm going to see if he can pop up and join us. Jay Crawford, we just launched a new show this week. I will be a chance to see it on 3 News or here on Facebook Live. We've also put it on YouTube and on our app. Lunch Break with Jay Crawford every weekday now from 12 to 12:30. And Jay's awesome. He has been such a great addition. Oh, come on. Come on. I was literally about to text you and say, can you come down and talk to us? Come on.
Love this guy.
Come on, Jay Crawford.
Love this guy.
Oh, let me
Get in here, buddy.
What is going on with this game?
Unbelievable. Let's bring in, I was just literally just saying, the host of our brand new show on 3 News, Lunch Break with Jay Crawford, the aforementioned Jay Crawford.
I hope I'm the host. It's got my name on it.
It's got your name on it. It's got
I'm
your.
not really comfortable with that, but I guess it's okay.
Well, I mean, listen, you've had cold pizza, and, you've had
Right?
First Take.
I know.
I mean,
I know.
you've had,
Launching shows is kind of my
right,
thing.
Right. I mean, who better to launch a show than you? I'm so happy to have you here. Now, you have a relative that plays for the Lions.
My nephew is number 24, Jack Robinson. He's been all over the field
Wait,
tonight.
Robinson's been phenomenal.
Robinson's been terrific.
I know.
I don't coach the Lions, but I give him the ball twice down there on the 5.
He runs it down. He gets it. Well, first of all, he scores the touchdown.
Yes.
They bring it back.
They call it back.
They give him the next time. They give it to him the next time. He gets into the 4. First and goal from the 4. He's out of the game.
Yeah.
But I get it. He can't play every single play.
No.
Because he's all over the field on defense.
Correct.
And the kid's got to be exhausted.
Right.
On 3rd and 4, he came out for 2. I thought for sure on 3rd and 4
I
they
did
were
too.
gonna run him.
I did too. I was surprised.
Feed the kid.
Yeah,
He's a
feed him.
dinosaur. If you give him the ball, good things happen.
Yeah.
You know?
This is I got to tell you, one of the most beautiful settings for high school football.
Isn't this nice?
anywhere in Northeast Ohio?
It really
I mean,
is.
it's absolutely gorgeous.
I love it. It's very nice. We've been to a couple of games here. We came last year to a couple, and it's just beautiful here. It's a beautiful setting, terrific school, just a wonderful program, and hopefully they can get a little momentum going here in the second half. Benedictine's a good school, man.
Did Corey play high school? I know, obviously, your son Corey, if people know, he is an All-American track athlete. We're hoping to see him in the Olympics coming up. But did he play high school football?
He played high school baseball and soccer. He played football until his 8th grade year. Mm-hmm. And he was a returner, wide receiver, wing back, got the ball way too much.
Yeah.
And he only played in middle school because there wasn't a middle school soccer team. He played on a travel soccer team. But honestly, Dino, I thought soccer was his best sport his whole life. He didn't even go out for track and field until he was a junior. And, we always thought he would play either college baseball or soccer. Had he played football and not soccer, he runs a 4.19 40. He's got a 41-inch vertical leap. He could have been a machine football player.
Yes.
But he loved soccer. Mm-hmm. And when it came time to choose in high school, it was either one or the other. And he was playing varsity soccer as a freshman. He was that good.
Wow.
So he just said, Dad, I'd rather play varsity soccer as a freshman than JV football as a freshman. So he never played football past 8th grade, but he was exciting to watch in junior high. It was fun.
White Lightning Crawford, right?
I'm telling you, the kid absolutely. Well, even now he runs, a 10.400. So it's still really close to world-class speed. And you put that speed on a football field, and it's standout speed.
Oh, I mean, we were watching Rosser for Benedictine run that touchdown, that 61-yarder, and he makes 2 moves, and you're sitting there going, "Whoa, it's gone.
Nobody's going to catch him."
Right. It's amazing. How much have you enjoyed being back in Northeast Ohio? You're a Sandusky product. You understand Friday night high school football leading into Saturday Ohio State, or in our case Bowling Green as well, and then to the Browns Sunday. I mean, you get the importance of Northeast Ohio football. I got to imagine nights like this, and this is what it's about, being back home.
This is home to me.
Yeah.
It really is. And I'll tell you, so I worked in Columbus for 5 years. Munch, you know that.
I was
from 93 to 98. I was at Channel 10. And every Friday night we would take the helicopter to a game, and we would do a huge high school football show every Friday night. And I grew up, of course, playing and rooting for and just loving high school football.
Blue Streaks guy?
What's amazing, Perkins Pirates.
There you go. There you go.
And amazingly, outside of my 5 years in Columbus, I went to Tampa for 5 years after Columbus, and they had unbelievable individual talent. Unbelievable in the state of Florida. Every high school had 3 or 4 Division I guys. But the teams they had no real they had powerhouses, but
Yeah.
outside of that, your average high school teams, they were a mess. They were just a mess.
It's
a lot of
interesting.
individual talent, but the teams were horrible. And I would tell anybody that, listen, you may have more individual talent that comes out of the state of Florida, but the teams in Ohio will mop the teams from Florida.
Wow.
Because it's just so much more of, it's part
We
of
just
the
saw
culture
St.
here.
St. Ignatius, right?
Absolutely,
Took a team that's
absolutely.
been destroying teams down there.
Yeah.
Took it to the woodshed.
And because it's just a different game. It doesn't translate from Florida to here. Then I moved to New York. I'm there for 10 years. I'm in Connecticut 6 years. And in the Northeast, they don't really, the only kind of football they know about in the Northeast is the NFL.
Right.
College football is non-existent. High school football, they play it on Saturday afternoons. Most of the high schools don't even have lights at the stadium, so that they play it on a Saturday afternoon. It's just a different feel, Dino.
Right.
Totally different feel.
So now that we've had I have you up here, now, what else did you kind of come up with in this first half as we look at 21-7 Benedictine leading NDCL here? Jay Crawford joining us at halftime, host of Lunch Break with Jay Crawford.
Honestly, it's not that. I mean, clearly Benedictine has more talent.
Yeah.
They have more size. They have more speed. The passing game is giving Notre Dame fits. But honestly, if you don't turn it over down here on the goal line and you punch it in there, there's 14.
Yes.
So it could be a lot closer. This is way in the weeds here, but the Benedictine receivers are getting free releases.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's just because they don't coach press man, but I'd be knocking these kids off the line. I wouldn't be letting them get free releases because they've got too much speed. They're running right by the flat-footed defensive backs, and they don't have a chance.
Hey, guys, you ready for this? This will blow your mind. You hit it on the head. Ronnie Schultz, the Benedictine quarterback, 8 for 8.
Yeah.
186 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Right there, that's the tail of the tape.
That is. He's got a great arm, and they're utilizing it. But I think the only way you're going to slow that down at this point is to get up in those receivers' faces and don't let them get those clean free releases because
1-2 steps are passed.
They're gone.
Yeah.
And it's not on some of these passes, it's not just one guy that's open, it's 2 or 3. And that's why he's 8 for 8, because he's picking the guy that's the most wide open. And they're going to have that's the adjustment they're going to have to make at halftime.
I'd be remiss while I had you up here for a couple minutes because, I've had you on after further review the last couple weeks talking about the Browns.
Monday morning partner now.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, when I'm done with Donovan Monday, if you're around, please feel free to come up and chat. But
I will.
Browns Seahawks heading into Sunday, you and I have had a lot of chance to talk about it, and I know Munch has on his show. I don't know, Jay. I just kind of, as I've thought about it this week, something to be said for the Browns. They've got to be able to not ball up into a cocoon when something bad happens. They've got to be able to overcome the adversity that happens during the course of a football game. And if they can start doing that, I feel like they can beat teams like Seattle.
I do. Freddie said in the preseason, he said this over and over again, everybody was trying to figure out, what's your team's character? What is this team about? And he kept saying, your character is revealed in adversity.
Yeah.
And we're going to hit adversity this season. Well, guess what? We've hit it.
Yeah.
And in the micro, Dino, meaning game to game, when they've faced adversity, they've turtled.
Yes.
Now, so what are they going to do now in the macro, in the season? What are they going to do? And look, it's too early to say a game is a must-win. We all know that.
Yeah.
But it's not too early this time.
You're 2-5 if you lose.
You're 2-5.
Yeah, that's it.
You're going to
To New
lose.
England,
You're going to lose that one. So if you lose Sunday against Seattle, your season is essentially over.
Yeah, because you
Even
have
in a
to-
week
you
AFC
have to-
North, it's
you
over.
have to. You're 3 games under 500.
Your margin there is gone.
Right, before you can even think about being a playoff team, you're 3 below 500.
Yeah. Your margin of error is gone.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you guys this, which this kind of grated me this week. And again, we all want the team to win. We all feel better. And, you win, our steps a little lighter the next day. But the bottom line is this. You're being told that Wednesday and Thursday were the 2 best practices.
I heard that. Freddie even said today.
But 6 weeks in, but wait a minute. Why weren't they the best practices the first week?
That's a good question.
Every practice should be the best practice.
Well, it's a good question, but I'll tell you, I'd rather that they have had their best 3 days of practices Tuesday, Wednesday, and Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week. Because quite honestly, I think if this team doesn't understand the urgency that they're facing, we got a big problem.
Yes.
Because if you're right, Munch, you lose to Seattle, and you are absolutely 2-5. And I know the back end of the schedule is very favorable, but you basically have to find a way to go 8-1 to get to 10 wins. I think 10 wins will win the North. I do. And the fact that we beat Baltimore is huge.
Yes.
If we can find a way to beat them again.
You're going to beat Cincy twice, there's no doubt in my mind.
You're going to beat Cincy twice. Pittsburgh looks like they're going to be an afterthought. So if you can somehow find a way to beat Seattle. And look, I think we all agree that talent is there. This team can beat Seattle.
Yeah.
This team has the talent to beat anybody on their schedule. Really, the only game that I looked at the beginning of the season and said, no chance whatsoever, was New England.
Yeah.
That was it. Outside of that, I really believe that this is a football team that has the pieces. They just have to take the next step in their progression. And here's what that is. Winning a close game.
Yes.
A close game late. Coming from behind with a big drive with a minute 40 to go. You go the length of the field. You punch it in. You win a game. Now, if they find a way to do that, and they're 3-3 going to New England, that changes everything.
Oh, yeah.
So, literally, this is a playoff game. I face this like it's a playoff game, and you're playing for your lives.
Absolutely.
You're home. You haven't won at home all year. Are you going to tell me that you're going to start your first 3 games at home with L's and you're going to make the playoffs? That's never happened.
No.
Sold out stadium, fans really, what could you say is that, at times it's like, come on, you got to be kidding me, but the loyalty, how can you be more loyal than what we've put up with in the last 5-6 years?
Baker has asked and Freddie has asked that the fans get there, that get there early, that they're loud. The fans, the first 2 games have been incredible.
Yes.
And I'm sure Sunday, even after the egg on Monday night, the fans are going to be raucous, they're going to be rowdy, they're going to be loud, and if they start the season 0-3 at home, I don't think you deserve to make the playoffs.
And you certainly don't. And I think you waive your right to criticize the fans the rest of the year, too.
It's interesting because some of the players say, well, the fans are the one who put all these accolades on us. The fans are the one. I was happy, as I was Tagali, I was happy with 9-7 this year, whether they went to the postseason
I agree.
or not, because it's been so abysmal. You've got to learn how to win. You've got to have a winning culture, and then take it from there.
Couldn't agree more. You don't skip steps in the NFL. And really, when you're 0-16, the way the progression usually works is 3-13, 7-9, 10-6, 12-4. That's the arc that you want to see.
That's what when the Cowboys came back from being 1-15,
right.
When Jimmy Johnson first took over, 1-15, 6-10, 11-5, 13-3 world champions.
That's the arc. And I think fans got so excited because we were +7 that they said, oh, well, why not? Let's be +7 again and we'll be 14-2. It doesn't work that way. So there's an intermediate step, and Munch, you hit it. It's a 9-7 season.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then next year, coming into next year, you address that abysmal offensive line.
Please.
You fix that. You make you sign the best free agent on the line. You draft a couple of young guys on the line. You maybe make a trade or you sign another offensive lineman. This team was built from the outside in, and I think championship models are built from the inside out.
Yep.
We've got the nice shiny pieces before we have the hot rod engine. We get the line fixed for next year. You go 9-7 this year, and then next year you can have legitimate conversations about 11-5, 12-4, division champion, home playoff game, and see what happens.
It's good to be enthused too, but I even look at I would think that Aaron Rodgers is a pretty good quarterback.
Great, Hall of Famer.
In 10 years in Green Bay, been in a Super Bowl once and won it once.
Right.
And so I'm just saying it just doesn't happen.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
It's tough. I'll tell you what really concerns me, guys, is the temperature in the league right now around Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
I've talked to players and coaches from other teams, and this is real. This isn't a perceived thing that's going on. He is not liked, and I look. It
to
doesn't
the level at college.
I think it exceeds that.
Wow.
Because these are grown men, and you're taking food out of guys' mouths. And I think there's an unspoken rule in the NFL, and that rule is you want to celebrate your own victories, that's great, but it should never come at the expense of someone else. And we saw what he did to Hugh Jackson last year, and we all loved that.
Yeah,
we thought that
yeah.
was great. But Hugh, even though he wasn't a great coach, Hugh was pretty well liked around the league. And there were guys that saw that and immediately judged Baker and said, you know what? That was completely unnecessary.
And you know what, to tie into that, it's like he was against Hugh going to work at Cincinnati, but wait a minute. The Browns fired you. You know, you fired me. Guess what? I'm going across the street.
That's exactly right. That's the way the free enterprise works.
Right, you got
If the Browns cut Baker, no one is going to hold it against Baker if he goes and signs with the Bengals.
Right.
Yeah,
That's how this works.
Thank you.
And so, you know, I can understand if you want to use that internally in your locker room as motivation, but don't go public with it.
Yeah.
Don't do something on the field that you know is going to be turned into a huge spectacle. Last year, when the Texans rubbed our noses in it after the game, J.J. Watt said, I woke up feeling dangerous.
Yeah.
This time around, when the 49ers rubbed our noses in it, they took great joy, all of them, in Nick Bosa and the flag plant. These guys are grown men, and you don't need to give them any more reason to want to knock the taste out of your mouth. And that's what Baker's doing. And as I've asked friends that are with other teams, what's the general mood on Baker? There's never any hesitation with that answer.
Wow.
They don't love this guy, and they're all lining up for their chance to show him that it's not as easy as you think it is. And I'll just remind all of the Browns fans out there, once upon a time in the NFL not long ago, a guy by the name of Colin Kaepernick and a guy by the name of RG3 were being crowned as future Hall of Famers.
Yes.
And the league figured out what they were doing. And where are they now?
The league figures.
Where are they now?
That's why I'm shocked Lamar Jackson's having the motor comes and says he is.
You know what?
I thought the Chargers figured him out last year.
I talked to some folks in the Ravens organization. They say they've never seen a quarterback work harder from season 1 to season 2.
To pass the football.
So he wasn't out there shooting commercials. He was out there working on his accuracy. Now, look, I'm not sold that he's taken the next step and that he's going to be a long-time fixture in the league, because I think what he does is stoppable. I do. I think you can't rely on leaving the pocket and running in this league long. RG3 tried it. It's going to cost you games on the backside of your career. You can't do it. The league's going to figure you out. So I think Baker has all the potential to be the franchise quarterback we all want him to be. But my hope for Baker is that he stops worrying about the outside stuff.
Yeah.
And here's what I always say with people. They say, what do you think? And I say, my thing and anything in the NFL is, what would Bill do? And Teddy Bruschi used to tell me all the time, Bill's number 1, number 2, and number 3 commandment was tune out the noise and do your job.
Yeah.
That's
Simple
it.
as that, right?
Yeah. And he wasn't about any hype. He's not about guys doing a million commercials. He's about guys not listening to criticism, not listening to praise, coming to work, knowing that your opponent is working twice as hard that week because you're the Patriots, so you got to work twice as hard every week. Tune out the noise, show up every day, do your job, and the rest will take care of itself. And that's my hope for Baker. If he does that, I think we're going to be okay.
Jay, this was a great halftime show, my
Always
friend.
fun, man.
Thank you for coming
Always
by.
fun to see you, bro.
It was absolutely great to have
I
you
hope
up
we
here.
get a good second half.
I hope so. I hope so.
All right.
And we'll see everybody again. Lunch break with Jay Crawford, Monday through Fridays at noon on 3 News. We also have it on YouTube, Facebook Live, and on WKYC.com.
And a quick plug, today after the show, I went out to Browns practice and I did a sit-down with Jamie Gillum. This guy...
How's the hammer? Pretty cool.
The hammer, baby.
Did you ask him to go out for a beer?
This guy, no, but we talked about it. The tradition in rugby is every home stadium has a bar within 20 yards of the field.
Come on.
And afterwards, they go, the opposing player showers, and then they all come over and drink with the home team. And I said, Hammer, we need to start that in the NFL.
Oh, no doubt.
The guy's full of life. He's a great kid. I'm rooting for him from top to bottom.
Yeah.
We got a good one in this guy.
Yes.
Anyhow, we're going to put together this sit-down interview, and it's probably going to run, I'm thinking, on lunch break one day next week.
Awesome. Look
right,
forward
guys.
to it.
Hey,
Thank you, my friend.
Welcome
Great
home,
fun,
man.
Yes.
Great to be
So
home.
glad to have you.
Yes,
Great
indeed.
to be home.
Jay Crawford joining us as he'll go and enjoy his nephew playing football in the second half.
Goodness, Robinson.
Yes,
Yes, indeed.
Just so it was funny. I was about to text Jay, say, hey, if you're around, come on over and say hi. And asking you shall receive, and he was awesome. Scores to pass along here, Munchie, while we get ready for the second half. 21-7, Benedictine leading NDCL as we welcome you back here to Lions Stadium at halftime. Menor shutting out Brunswick 28-0.
You mentioned something. That is a good.
It's a good Blue Devil team. This is not Brunswick from last year. This is a playoff caliber team that Menor is handling tonight. Euclid now leading Solon 17-7 at the half. Aurora over Barberton, we mentioned that already at the half, 21-7. Avon leading North Olmsted at the half, 17-0. So, I mean, the Eagles keeping it close. They're not letting, when I say the Eagles, by the way, I realized Avon Eagles, North Olmsted Eagles, North Olmsted keeping it close. Now, this one's not close. I'm kind of glad we aren't at Coventry tonight, Munch. Streetsboro 42, Coventry nothing at half. Coventry is a pretty good football team. Streetsboro is in that Division III, Region 9 with the likes of Kenston, New Philadelphia, Aurora. You win that region, you're going to earn it when we get to the postseason.
Streetsboro's a great story.
Yeah, it is a great story. The Rockets are having a great, I think they're the Rockets. They're having a great year. Kenston and Chardon are now tied at half, 14 apiece.
Oh, my.
Mitch Schulich got his Hilltoppers ready to play tonight after a slow start.
And the offense they run there is just so precise. You know, it can leave you dizzy.
Yeah, I have to imagine that they're playing keep away. They're keeping the ball away from Tom Kupsik and the rest of that high-powered Bomber offense.
Quarter, oh, my gosh.
Yeah, 14-14 also. Hudson and North Royalton tied up at half. That is a full scoreboard courtesy of my boy Tyler Carey.
And you talk about rivalry games, of course, Benedictine. Now it's NDCL, but Cathedral Latin. It doesn't get better than that. Also tomorrow, another holy war because you've got St. Edward and St. Ignatius.
Answer me this:
I will.
Are we not allowed to use that term anymore?
You know what? I use it.
Okay, you can use it.
Holman SPSM had no problem with announcers using it. I do know there's been some talk on both the schools I just mentioned, one at West 30th and Lorraine,
yes,
and one at...
now, is that at Lakewood Stadium tomorrow?
That is at the Madhouse on Madison, Lakewood Stadium. But you talk about rivalries. Sutton Clay, of course, from the 2011 championship team. Him and 15 other members of that team went to the school, bought their tickets, will be in the stands. That's what that game means.
Yeah.
I said, wait a minute, he goes,
it's special.
How did I miss the Holy One?
Ignatius, I don't care when you play it. You can play it in the middle of October. You can play it in early November. You can play it.
It's the last game,
too. It does. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter when you play it. It's still special. All right, we're ready to start the second half. Benedictine will kick off to NDCL. Remember, Benny won the toss, elected to receive. 21-7. In favor of the Bengals.
Which is a very important drive for NDC.
I would agree to maintain kind of their momentum. Ronnie Schultz for Benedictine has 2 touchdown passes, one to Charles Rosser from 61 yards. Jalen Edwards had a 39-yard touchdown run.
Well, Schultz was 8 for 8. When's the last time you've seen that?
Not very often. And then John Sharp had a 64-yard touchdown pass to David Martin Cozier for the lone score for NDCL. And that is where we are at, folks. 21-7. Bengals in the lead as they will kick it off. And back deep to receive. You've got Wynn. You've got, let's see, I think also Mitchell's back there as well. This kick is going to be caught at the 3-yard line. David Martin Cozier will run left side to the 20, out to the 25, sidesteps to the 30, still on his feet, and David will be brought down at the 35-yard line. Good return by David Martin Cozier.
Nice return. Just, again, it's not for the faint of heart, but in order to get a return 99 times out of 100, you got to push it right up the gut, and then you make your move.
Yes.
Once you go to the sideline to start the return, everybody goes that way.
Well, as you just said to me last week, we were out at Lutheran West. When you do that, the sideline becomes your 12th man on the field as a defender. Munch, I need water too. Right? Should have. Hey Crawford, while you're out there, bring us my water. So great to have Jay Crawford joining us. By the way, special thanks again to him to join us as we go to action here. And I believe that's Wynn getting the carry on first down. He'll cross the 40, and Johnny will take it to about the 42-yard line. So gain of about 7 for Wynn on first down. 21-7 Benedictine as we start this third quarter. 2nd and 3 for the Lions.
important drive. That's all we can say.
As another pitch to win. Oh, he makes a nice move right side. First down to the 50. Still on his feet to the 49-yard line, to the 48, to the 47, to the 46. And finally, officials will say you're down at about the 46-yard line of the Bengals. But Johnny Wynn with some determined running gets a first down for the Lions. And off to a good start. They'll mark it at the Benedictine 46-yard line.
And you know, that young man is the proverbial, I use it every game, size of the fight in the dog.
Yep. Both Wynn and Robinson are in the backfield. Another pitch out. Wynn, same play, and he has another couple of nice moves in store as he spins down to the 41, put down there, and then we've got a flag down, and we may have an unsportsmanlike conduct after that play against the Bengals.
You will, and it was definitely on Chris Gales.
Now, a personal foul is going to be the call, and it's going to go against Gales and the Bengals.
He took a guy and threw him down. You can't do that. It's not the WWE.
So from the 40, they'll march it up to the 25-yard line, and the Lions, in 58 seconds, are basically in the red zone. First and 10, NDCL at the Benedictine 25-yard line. Again, Robinson stands to the right of quarterback John Sharp. Johnny Wynn, the lone man in the backfield. Almost an offsides against the Bengals. Another pitch out. It's Wynn up the gut. He's to the 20. He's to the 15. To the 14. To the 13. And down to the 11-yard line. Ball came loose. Ball came loose. And I believe the Bengals have it. Let's check on that. Yeah, it's going to be Benedictine football for the inside the 5 for the second time tonight.
Oh my.
Benedictine coughs, NDCL coughs it up in the red zone.
And you know, it was such a brilliant play. You see who's leading the blocking? Sharp the quarterback.
Sharp the quarterback. But again, you know, Johnny Wynn was trying to get extra yards, and he got stood up and trying to move the pile. And when he got stood up, somebody stripped him away from the football, and it bounced all the way back inside the 5 to the 4-yard line of the Bengals, where Ron Schultz and company will start first and 10. Another devastating turnover for NDCL. They had the sharp interception that was picked off at the goal line by Matthew Stauffer, and now the fumble by Wynn. Schultz will go under center. Turns, gives. I believe that is Edwards, and Edwards will take it out near the 9-yard line.
Nice run, 5 yards, and you know, really, you're not going to throw the ball down there, even with Schultz being 8 for 8 on the day. Now, you get a first down, they might put it on the board.
I think you just lost your roster again, Munch. But Geauga County's finest is going to save Mr. Bishop.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, officer.
He's a hero regardless, without getting my roster.
Yes, absolutely. 2nd and 5 here for the Bengals from their own 9. 10:09 to play in the third quarter. Benedictine 21, NDCL 7. Dave DeNatale, Mark Munch Bishop here at Lions Stadium. And Schultz wants to throw on second down. Launches one to the right. Pass caught. First down at the 30-yard line on another beautiful throw by Ronnie Schultz. Chris Gales pulls that one in for a gain of 21 yards.
And you know what it shows you? Gales did what great receivers do. Came back a little bit to the football, and bang, you got him out of the hole. And here come the Bengals.
Boy, Jared Good has all kinds of confidence in his quarterback, and why not? Schultz is just throwing the ball beautifully tonight.
9 for 9 now on the night.
Back on the ground, here comes Edwards, and he'll be put down at the 32-yard line for only about a gain of 1.5 yards or so. 2nd and 8 for the Bengals.
Boy, Dino, you had to keep Benedictine back in that hole if you are Notre Dame-Cathedral Latin. So what they need to do now on 2nd and they're calling it 9. They need to stop.
And the same thing happened, Munch, after the interception. You know, Benedictine started in, at their own 7 and ended up having a 93-yard touchdown drive.
Boy, they're changing some things up because looking towards the bench.
Schultz on the shotgun, 2nd and 8. Edwards will step down to his left with 3 wide receivers. Quick throw left side, pass caught. Rosser at the 40, first down 45. He's to the 50, and finally wrestled down in Lion territory at the 45-yard line. But another first down, and 10 for 10, Ronnie Schultz, as he finds Charles Rosser for the first down. And we've got some rain coming down, Munchie.
Yes, indeed. Little by little. It was forecast to come about 9 o'clock, and lo and behold, 8:42.
Yeah.
Not a bad job by the great meteorology crew at WKYC.
Well, we are under tent and safe here.
Unless it comes sideways.
Well, unless it comes sideways. I shouldn't speak too soon. From the pistol, they wanted to run the play here, and I don't know if the play clock was set. Timeout taken by the Bengals.
Well, that's an early timeout. You'd think, will that come back to haunt them?
It will be 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line when we come out of this timeout.
Interesting, Dino, is that, your home snake bit just a couple times on some brilliant drives.
Yeah, I mean, 2 drives in the red zone. One, you have a fumble. One, you have the interception.
As the silence in the crowd, I think people are going to.
I think people are looking around at us trying to figure out how much room is there in the tent if we want to come and sit in. There's not much space. I got to tell you, there's
first come first serve.
First come first serve. All of a sudden, Munch and I are the most popular people here at Lions Stadium.
We were ahead of time too, weren't we?
All right, back out of the timeout. Benedictine has it 1st and 10 at the NDCL 45-yard line. Schultz will pitch out to Edwards running right side. Steps in, steps out, and then put down at the 44-yard line. A lot of effort for Jalen Edwards for only about a yard pickup. Liam Worthington on the stop for NDCL.
Edwards is a workhorse.
Yes.
You haven't seen another back there, and unless it's a running clock type of game, which I don't believe it will be, is that Edwards will continue to tote the pigskin. And now it's starting to come down.
We have our first guest here in the tent.
And we offered. Yes.
We offered it. I mean, come on. As we said, we're popular. Just as long as we can still see the field, everybody's invited to sit there.
Yeah.
Here comes Edwards again, and he'll take it to about the 41-yard line and then get put down there. I think Jeff Conforti and Sam Urbanski combined on that stop, and it will bring up a 3rd down and about 6. As the rain has really picked up here a little bit.
And if they can hold him without a gain here, I don't believe that Jared Good would get greedy and he'd punt the ball.
I wouldn't think so here. Not with a 2-touchdown lead and the rain's coming down here. Schultz looks over at his coaching staff here for the play. 3rd and 6, Benedictine at the NDCL 40-yard line. Edwards to the right of quarterback Ron Schultz, who throws, and the pass is intercepted on a jump route over on the left side. It is picked off at the 38-yard line. Trying to get the license plate number of the interceptor, but the Lions come back with a turnover. Only the 5th pick thrown this year by Ronnie Schultz, and it's 1st and 10 NDCL at the 37.
And his first incomplete pass of the day turns out to be a completion to the other side. That route was jumped and read perfectly.
James Sapola on the interception, the sophomore with his 2nd pick of the season. He jumped that route and read it beautifully and snuffs out the drive, and the Lions will now take over 1st and 10 at their own 37 as the rains intensify here in Geauga County. Out of the pistol, Wynn will get the pitch, tripped up and maybe plunged back to the line of scrimmage. They've run that pitch back to Wynn now 3 or 4 times in a row. We've got an injured Benedictine Bengal. And I think it was who made the tackle. Was it Rosser?
The play was read perfectly, too, because they got in there and submarined them. If it is Rosser, they're down, and the trainers are out there on them. But this is such an important... Do you think about this? It's 7:17 left in the 3rd already.
Yeah.
This is when you're keeping the ball in the
because the way Benedictine had started that drive at their own 4-yard line, grinding yards, grinding clock, and they had eaten up about 4 minutes on that drive before the interception by NDCL Sapola. So that was a big stoppage, if anything else, for NDCL, just in terms of getting the ball back, as the injured Bengal will limp off the field. I did not see the number on it, but it will be a 2nd down, and they're going to say it was no gain on the run by Wynn. 2nd down and 9. They're running that same play in the pistol. Robinson standing to the right of Sharp, and then you've got Wynn, the deep man, out of that shotgun snap. High snap. Sharp looks like a busted play, but does a good job to run forward with it. Takes it across the 40 and out to the 42.
He got slammed out to the turf. Sharp did the best thing. Rather than panic, he just said, you know what? I got to just take off upfield on this one.
I think he turned as if he was supposed to pitch it to win, and which is
with the snap being that high. By the time
it disrupted the timing of the play. So they get about 4.5 to 5 yards on that play to bring up a third down and about 5. Shotgun for quarterback John Sharp. And he'll fake handoff under pressure. Hit as he throws. Pass is incomplete. Just overshot his intended receiver. I believe that might have been Mac. It was either David Martin Cozier or it was Max Zart. It was Max Zart, the tight end.
Yes. Well, here's what happened, though. He wanted Cozier, who was further down. He got hit.
He got hit as he threw.
The football. So the ball was underthrown. It was almost grabbed by the tight end, Zart.
Yeah, Max Zart, 6'1". If he had been about 6'4", he might have been able to make that catch. Instead, David Martin Cozier will punt the football to Andre Rogers. Rogers waits for it at his own 24.
Great hang time on these punts. Let's see if the Lions can get down underneath it and cover.
Good snap, some pressure.
Wow.
And Martin Cozier gets another high kick. This time Rogers going to let it go inside the 20, inside the 15, and it will roll to a stop and be fielded at about the 13-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bengals with 6:15 to play here in quarter number 3.
If you're NDCL, you need a turnover. However, you cannot start the tackling the football instead of the guy.
Yes.
Because then you don't get the football. Then there's a big run, and we've seen the prowess of the Benedictine Bengal athletes here tonight. But you've got to go for a turnover.
Yeah, it's plenty of time. 6:15 to go in the third quarter. Benedictine 21, NDCL 7. But Munch's point is the fact that the Bengals have moved the football pretty much at will here tonight. And the only mistake really offensively they made, one was they didn't score at the goal line. The other was an interception just a few moments ago as that pass is knocked away and incomplete over on the right side at the 15-yard line. It was intended for Angelo Lott. One of the NDCL corners able to go over and get a paw on it. It might have been Cipolla over there again, and it's incomplete, 2nd and 10.
What a great play. You fake to the running back. You act like you're going to take a step to the left. Then all of a sudden you roll to your right real quick and try to pop it out there. Very, very nice play.
And Nick Balo will get credited for that pass breakup, 2nd and 10. And the give will be to Edwards, running all the way back to his 10. He's in trouble, and Edwards is going to be put down inside the 10 for a significant loss near the 9-yard line, a loss of about 4 on the play, as NDCL really got some good movement in on their defense to hem in and put down Jalen Edwards.
Dino, I like what the Lions are doing here. They're taking a chance. They don't feel that Benedictine's going to go vertical, even with trips to the far side, so they're shooting guys and trying to stop them up on between the tackles.
Well, here's a big one here for the Lions. 3rd down and about 14 from back at their own 9. Edwards will stand to the right of Schultz, trips left side. Schultz wants to throw, being pressured. He's going to tuck back at the 5. He's going to run forward to the 10, to the 15, and knocked out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. But they're going to be short of the 1st down. As it's just so much territory Ronnie Schultz needed to get that 1st down, and it looks like Max Zart was one of those who knocked him out of bounds.
They're about
4 yards
short, but
now they're about 3 yards short of the 1st down, Munchie.
Okay, well, where they placed it. Yes,
so,
they are. You've got
you're right,
ball back.
but I was wondering where they were going to mark it, if they were going to give him more forward progress. It's the 4th down and about 3, so Christian Cora will punt it to Johnny Wynn in single safety at his own 49.
Don't go block it, dude. I call it the Jesse James. You hold up the guys that are going to be on the return team or the cover team, and you get a run.
And they're just going to let this go, and it takes an NDCL bounce into Benedictine territory, and it'll be down by the Bengals at the Benny 41-yard line. That took about a 7 or 8 yard roll to the Benedictine side on the turf. Not a friendly bounce for Christian Cora.
Now, Dino, we talked about it. Of course, the first drive resulted in a punt. You had the interception then by NDCL. Really, it's like you only have so much time left. You got 5:12 left in the third. You got to go down to
you got 17 minutes to go here. You're down by 2 touchdowns. you have turned it over twice in the red zone here if you're NDCL. At some point, something's got to give. They're going to try a little quick pass to Robinson with the catch at the 35. Hurdles over a would-be tackler. Flag goes down as Robinson goes out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
I wonder if he was hit out of bounds because that's.
Yeah, we'll see. That could have been. That's where the flag was thrown, where that spot where Robinson made that hurdle. And we'll check on the flag, but Jack Robinson with some determined running here. Flag is going to be picked up. So it's a first down for the Lions.
Yeah, I didn't think he was hit that far out of bounds.
I didn't either. So
you're running the line, you got to make sure he goes down. But great play. And boy, kind of dangerous throwing that pass into a lot of traffic, but you needed the traffic because you had to have the blockers.
16 yards on that pass. First down Lions. They move the chains now to the Benny 25. Pitch out to Win. Middle of the field. Now he cuts right and is put down at the line of scrimmage. Good recovery by that Bengal defense. Gary Merrill was over there on the stop. Also for the Lions, Darrell Bedingfield.
Merrill was being blocked as he made the tackle. As you said earlier, we've mentioned his name quite a few times today. There's a reason why he's making a lot of tackles.
He's a good linebacker. All kinds of substitutions here. Jack Robinson among those coming out. Second down and basically 10 here. Actually, they'll say 2nd and 9. They'll give him a yard on that play.
Boy, so the Bengals linemen look a little anxious there that time.
Yeah. Play clock at 10. 4:20 to go in the third quarter. Lions down 14. Knocking on the door again. Low snap. Picked up by Sharp. He went to throw right side, and it's incomplete, but there's a flag down. Somebody pushed David Martin Kosher.
Who somebody was, too.
Yeah.
It was our buddy Chris Gales, who's had a great game. However, he's had a unsportsmanlike penalty. No need to push him out of bounds there. The ball was
uncatchable.
Yeah.
So that is a costly penalty against the Bengals. You know what I love about John Sharp, though? I mean, low snap, he didn't get panicked.
High snap, he doesn't panic.
Yep. Low snap, doesn't panic. And still threw that pass. It wasn't going to be caught, but good things can happen because you get a penalty there. That interference will move it inside the Benedictine 15 down to the Bengal 13-yard line. 1st and 10 Lions. 4:10 to go in the third quarter.
You need a score here and not a field goal. You've got to come away with a touchdown and the pass.
Wynn stands behind quarterback John Sharp out of the pistol. Wynn will get the carry. Stood up and hit at the 14-yard line by Thomas Jolly Jr.
Oh, my. Jolly goes both ways, just like Podolski, the offensive lineman, defensive lineman, and he was not going to move that brick that time.
He's 265 pounds according to the roster. If he's 265, I swear he's had a couple of extra meals this week because he looks like he's more like 285. Big, strong, and it takes up a lot of space.
I don't know if you noticed too, but the Bengals have been using Grigor Garvis in there quite a bit too.
They like Garvis a lot.
255, yes.
Yeah. Gain of 1 for Wynn, 2nd and 9 at the Benedictine 14-yard line. Robinson's back in there. They'll pitch to Wynn. He'll run up the gut. Actually, make that Mitchell inside the 10, and Mitchell takes it to the goal line. He's in for the touchdown. He lost the football, but then picked it back up. Jimmy Mitchell with the touchdown run of 14 yards. And NDCL got exactly what they needed, a touchdown, and they trail now 21-13.
Jimmy Mitchell showing his prowess. We noted, too, that he is your quote-unquote running quarterback, and he did it that time, too. Got hit 3 or 4 times, played some pinball with those defenders. 8th
touchdown run of the year for Mitchell. And for the extra point now, Gianni Spedic. Off the hold of John Sharp. The kick is up. It looked like it might have been partially blocked, but it still clears the crossbar.
Hey, it wasn't pretty, but you know what Freddie Kitchen says? Kick it between those 2 yellow posts. That's exactly what he did.
21-14 Benedictine over NDCL with 3:19 to go in the third quarter. 14 yards on that touchdown run by Jimmy Mitchell.
How important was that score?
Well, and Munch, to me, it started by getting the field position when Benedictine took over and not allowing them to get another drive going down the field and seize field position. They started on a short field and took advantage of it. And that, that they tried earlier that throwback pass to Robinson This time it was not the same play, but it was a similar type play. And Jack Robinson has been just a drive engineer tonight for NDCL. Doesn't score the touchdowns, but he gets them in position, and he helped kind of ignite it. And then Mitchell finished it off for 6.
Some little things have happened. They pick off Schultz, who had been perfect in passing. They complete some passes. They keep their cool and just keep running their plays. Benedictine lost their cool on a couple plays, and it cost them.
21-14 Bengals with 3:19 to go in the third quarter. Spedick will kick off. Rogers, Gales, and Rosser back deep to receive. We got ourselves a ball game again. As the kick will go middle of the field, Rogers will catch it on the hop at the 12-yard line. Runs to his right at the 20. You're outside 25. Flag goes down. Rogers goes down at the 29-yard line.
Did it come back because he had a block and back by a Bengal?
And penalties are starting to kind of add up here for Benedictine in the second half. As that last touchdown drive on the run by Mitchell was aided by that pass interference penalty.
3:12 left, and that was so important once again for the Lions to get that score.
So as Munch pointed out, you got that block in the back, a 10-yard penalty against the Bengals. I love it. Let me just say again, I love the fact the officials are wearing microphones tonight. You get that certainly in college in the NFL, but very rarely in high school.
Wow, this is coming back to the 15-yard line?
It's a significant penalty.
16-yard line?
16-yard line, 10 yards. And
wow.
That's where the Bengals will start with 3:12 to go in this third quarter. The rains, because I know you're wondering at home, the rains have subsided somewhat here. Didn't bother Munch and I in the tent. Didn't bother our friends with us in the tent. We were all good.
We're all good. Company,
Don't let anybody else. Edwards gets the carry on first down. He'll cross the 20 and take it out to the 21-yard line. About a gain of 5 for Jalen Edwards. Yeah, I can't speak for everybody else at the stadium, but our 8 or 9 friends here are happy. That's fine.
Edwards is a workhorse. Again, the only back they really use. And one of those guys, too, that he's running between the tackles, Dino.
Yeah.
He's running hard yards.
And he's a stabilizer. When you're trying to, you've kind of been deflated a little bit. You go back to Edwards, and it sets up Schultz. Now they're going to go Edwards again here on second down. He's got a hole, and he's got a first down across the 30. And Edwards will take it out to the 32-yard line, give him 12 more, and another Bengal first down courtesy of Jalen Edwards.
Do you feel a little bit now as the game's gotten closer? There is a bit of a rivalry feel to the hit.
Yeah, I do, and I think now you can kind of feel we're sitting literally with the fans tonight. They're starting to believe that the Lions can do it, that they've had some missed opportunities tonight, but they're in this football game as the underdogs here, and they've tried to make this a special night, kind of a throwback night, and it's been a lot of fun here so far at Lions Stadium. On first down, back on the ground, it's Edwards, and he'll be put down at the 35-yard line. Short pickup, about 2 on the play, 2nd and 8.
I like what I'm seeing is that now 4 defenders come in, 4 come out. Of course, the offensive line has to stay together the whole time. But when you get those fresh defenders in the trenches, it means the world.
Yes.
Because who gets hit each and every play? Linemen.
Oh, almost an offsides on NDCL. They're able to pull back. Mm-hmm. But, one of the reasons is it allows a guy like Jack Robinson to be able to play a lot of snaps on defense, but he's also able to get spelled every now and then, so he's fresh on offense. As Schultz to throw on second down looks, he's got his man open. Rosser with the catch at the 30. He's put down at the 25-yard line, and inside the 25, they'll mark him right about at the 24. Charles Rosser, 6'3", 205 pounds with another clutch catch. First down, Benedictine Bengals.
When Jay Crawford joined us at halftime, we talked about the cushion that the NDCL DBs were giving the Benedictine receivers. There was no cushion that time. That was a beautifully thrown football right into Rosser's hands. All he had to do was latch onto it.
Just pull it in. Ball at the 25 of the Lions. Edwards, the deep man in the backfield. Schultz will go under center. And you've got a man now wing left. 1st and 10 Bengals. The give. A little sprint draw. It's Edwards running to his right, and it's hemmed in and put down at the 24-yard line for a gain of 1 as the Lions go over there and snuff it out quickly. Jack Robinson among those over there on the tackle.
I'll tell you why I'm laughing. A guy that we keep mentioning on defense, Gary Merrill, as a tight end, kind of slides along that line, and bang, they run right behind him.
Why not?
Yeah.
2nd and 9 over on the right hash. Edwards, the deep man in the backfield, is this time it'll be a pistol look here. Well, I say that, and now it looks like Schultz is going to go under center.
You'll watch Schultz under center. He gets down real
Yeah.
low. Now he's not quite.
Merrill's wing left. Fake to Edwards. They'll do a little throwback to the right. Pass is caught at the 20 to the 15 and down inside the 15-yard line. That'll be a first down for the Bengals. I believe that's Angelo Lott over there on the far side. And it'll be a first down on that pass play. Nicely executed by the Bengals.
And that is puzzling. The receiver caught the ball. There was not a defender within 10 yards of him.
Goes back to what you and Jay were talking about. No, it's actually Chris Gale's on the catch. It's folks, I just apologize. We're field level, so it's kind of difficult for us to spot on that far side. So sometimes we're able to see it clearly.
Jumping out the line.
Yeah. Sometimes they're guesses.
But you get to know kind of the look of the guy.
Yes. Ball spotted inside the 15 as Schultz will turn and give the ball to Edwards again.
Great
pursuit there by the NDCL Lions.
4 men on the tackle, and that's what you need to do. You can't let Edwards get to
Oh, man. End of the third. Boy, very quietly at the end of the third quarter. End of 3 here at Lions Stadium. Your score, the Benedictine Bengals 21 and the NDCL Lions 14. As we head to the 4th, they'll switch sides, and it'll be a 2nd and 9 coming up for the Bengals. Now keep in mind, down in this red zone, you're in the territory for a field goal, which is, of course, different from a lot of teams in high school football. Now, where the ball is now, it's down near the 10, but you're now in Yvonne Chiron's range, and I think you feel pretty confident if you wanted to kick a field goal here. If you can't,
a 2-score game.
Exactly.
Scoring has been at a premium. I know the Bengals have 21, but still they haven't put the ball in the end zone for a while. They haven't put it in the second half of play. So scoring has been at a premium. I can almost guarantee if they get stopped that they're going to bring Chardon on to boot it through.
It's be essentially it's 2nd and 10, no gain. The ball's just outside the 10-yard line, so the Bengals can get a first down without getting a touchdown. Is that marker is right about just inside the 1-yard line. So we start the 4th quarter.
This is when you take a deep breath, and this is gut check time for the NDCL defense.
Benedictine trying to kind of reestablish command of the game. They lead at 21-14. Driving now, 2nd and 10, just outside the NDCL 10-yard line. Under center will be Schultz. Edwards, the lone man in the backfield. They will move Merrill, tight end, to the right. You've got Gales wide right. Rogers and Rosser go out wide left.
Boy, those are some dangerous receivers.
As Schultz will luff one back in the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, Benedictine. Charles Rosser with the touchdown catch.
Rosser brought back to life, resuscitated after some drops, as I told you last week. Been an integral part of the Benedictine Bengal attack today.
His 2nd touchdown catch. That is the 3rd touchdown pass tonight for quarterback Ron Schultz. And that stifles the momentum that NDCL had built up late in that 3rd quarter after the touchdown run by Mitchell.
What the Lions have to do is come right back.
They'll officially call that as the extra point is up and good. A 10-yard touchdown pass, Ronnie Schultz to Charles Rosser. And with 11:54 to go in the football game, it's back to a 14-point lead for Benedictine and at 28-14.
That is not a high percentage pass.
Not at all.
I had shades of Syke to Logan on the old fade, okay? The best part of that pass is this. If he doesn't catch it, it's incomplete. No chance of getting picked off at all.
Menor continues to shut out Brunswick 38-0 in the fourth quarter.
Oh my.
Euclid and Solon tight, 17-13 Panthers in the fourth quarter.
Even though I'm a big supporter of Jeff Rodsky and his Panthers.
Yes.
I got to go with my boys.
I know, you're a Comet.
You know what Jim McQuaid told me? Once a Comet, always a Comet.
Aurora looks like they're going to stay unbeaten. They lead Barberton 24-7. Wow, in the fourth quarter.
Defense. Mahalik had a nice foul until it was Greenman or Tony.
Boy, is he 17-7. Avon leading North Olmsted in the fourth quarter.
You can't pull away.
No, North Olmsted hanging tough. Streetsboro 56-0 over Coventry in the fourth. Kenston, by virtue of a safety, leading Chardon 16-14 in the fourth quarter.
Oh my!
Boy, Mitch Hewitt loves to play against Kenston, man. What a great game. And Hudson now leading North Royalton 22-17. That's a big game for both of those teams in Region 5, as that kick is going to go all the way to the end zone and sail out for a touchback. 1st and 10 for NDCL at the 20.
One thing we have to point out is that there's not a lot of it, but the wind is at Benedictine's back in the fourth quarter, and you know what kind of kicker Chardon is, and Notre Dame-Cathedral is going into the wind to try to cut that deficit down.
Well, the one thing here for the Lions, they've got a lot of time here. Down 2 touchdowns with basically the entire fourth quarter to work with here. You've got both Robinson and Wynn in the backfield. The pitch out to Wynn on first down right behind him. Oh, he ran right into a Benedictine Bengal and was put down at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
That wasn't Merrill again, was it?
No, I think that was Garvis this time who made that big tackle. No gain.
Just plugged up the middle there. And
Gary Merrill also there, 2nd and 10.
Merrill's amazing, isn't he?
Merrill is amazing. He's only a junior. 2nd and 10. Jack Robinson will move to the right of quarterback John Sharp, and then Wynn is the deep man in the backfield. 2nd and 10.
I love that formation. A lot of weapons back there.
They'll go to Wynn. He's got some room to the 25 and takes it out to the 29-yard line. Just about a yard. Well, I thought they were going to mark him closer to the 29. They're going to mark him closer to the 27. Angelo Lott made a terrific tackle to prevent the first down.
Yes. And prevent the first down and more.
Yeah. Mark him at the 28, so it'll be 3rd and 2.
Oh, boy, as big as they get for the Lions.
Yeah.
I like the backfield, though, with Robinson and Wynn.
And we've got some movement here, and let's see who drew who off. I think it's going to be a false start against the Lions.
Well, that goes
it is.
back 5, so all of a sudden 3rd and 2 becomes 3rd and 7.
Well, now you're Andrew Mooney, and now whatever you're going to run there, you may have to change the play, and I think that's exactly what they're going to do here. And you're going to also change personnel a little bit, too. Bring out bring in an extra wide receiver, bring out a tight end. 3rd and 8 now for the Lions.
Very important play.
Pistol formation for quarterback John Sharp. He looks over the middle, pass deflected and incomplete. Trying to get it to Win just on a slant pattern. He was being covered by Merrill. And because it's now 4th and 8, we'll see the punt team here. David Martin Kosher will kick it away. And that was a costly penalty against the Lions, and it forces the punt.
I believe it was Jolly who goes both ways, got a paw up there and just altered the path. You're lucky that ball didn't get picked.
Yeah, no question.
Got hit, it kind of wobbled down to the earth.
David Martin Kosher will wait for the snap. Andre Rogers in single safety at his own 43-yard line. Good snap, and kick is away. Rogers going to let it go. It's going to bounce into Benedictine territory and roll inside the 45. We'll see where they officially mark this. They may mark this inside the 40 to the 37. That's where it's going to start. 1st and 10 for the Bengals with 10:27 to go in the fourth quarter. Benedictine with a 14-point lead, and I would imagine, Munch, we're going to see a steady diet of Jalen Edwards here on this drive.
Well, Edwards could handle the load. I will tell you that. You know, he's not overly big, but he's solid. I mean, really nice size at 6 foot 190. That's not a diminutive back that he can take the pounding between the tackles.
So ball at the 37-yard line of the Bengals, 1st and 10.
And with the rain totally subsided, we're losing our denizens of the town.
Oh, yes. It was fun. Nice to see you. Come back anytime. Edwards will get the pitch. Actually, that's Rogers getting the carry, and Andre Rogers getting the carry, and he runs some move down inside the 40 and takes it over to the 44-yard line.
Nice run by Rogers. Oh, he's not going to be able to take the pounding at 5'9", 160, but he's explosive.
Yeah, that's 7 on that carry. Just something, a different look there, 2nd and 3.
And the clock keeps running, and that's what Jared Good is aiming for right now.
Now Edwards is in the backfield. They'll move Chris Gales out wide right. Lott and Rosser will go out wide left, and then they've got now Merrill, tight end, in on the right side. As Ron Schultz will go under center. 2nd down and about 4. The turn and give, Jalen Edwards, and Edwards will be brought down short of the first down marker at the 46. So it will be about a gain of 1 and a 3rd down and about 3rd and a yard or so, 3rd and a yard and a half.
Here's the thing. You're up by 2 touchdowns. This is 4-down territory, too, for the Bengals with a 3rd and 1.
I would think so,
They get thrown back 5-6 yards.
Yeah, you're up by 14. I would think so.
Especially with Edwards in the backfield. Although now they got Rogers back there again, don't they?
And this time it's going to be a keeper for Schultz. He'll get the first down as he'll plunge ahead to the 49-yard line. Just a quick count there by Benedictine. And Ron Schultz picks up the first down at the 49-yard line. Schultz hasn't run it a lot this year, but we've seen a couple times tonight when they've needed to. He's been able to carry the load and do so well.
And, Dino, the wild thing is this, is that when you have a play like that, that is a huge win for the offensive line. It's just me against you, and I pushed you back to let my quarterback get that first down.
Now time's starting to really become a factor here for NDCL. We're under 9 minutes to go in the 4th quarter, and a fresh set of downs near midfield for Benedictine. Under center, with Edwards, the deep man in the backfield, Merrill will go in motion right. The give is to Jalen Edwards, running right, puts his head down, and it'll be brought down for a loss back at about the 48-yard line of Benedictine. As the tackle by NDCL, I think that was Dominic Roberts who made the stop.
Well, it was a great stop because he met him in the backfield, threw him down, made sure, even though he had him high, he had enough leverage on him and was in there quick enough to throw him to the ground.
Good hit by Roberts.
2nd down, 9 from the 50.
They actually gave Edwards a 1-yard gain there. I don't really know how that's possible, but
I don't think it is possible. But
all right. It's a mark it at the 50, 2nd and 9. Rogers now at tight end goes in motion. Little bootleg action rolling right is Schultz, wants to throw, pass caught, first down. Lott has it inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Angelo Lott with a huge reception for Benedictine, and it's first down now well into NDCL territory.
Here's what's crazy. There were 4 NDCL line defenders around Lott. None of them reacted to the pass. I think they felt that Schultz was going to run the football, and he did not.
Yeah, everybody kind of was looking at Edwards or maybe some kind of an inside give to Rogers, but well-conceived bootleg action there for Ron Schultz. And it's a gain of 16 on that pass play to Angelo Lott. So again, 3 wide receivers, Merrill the tight end in motion. The give, Edwards up the gut, and Edwards will get about 2 to the 32-yard line, and that's about it. 2nd down and 8, but again, clock is the factor, and we're under 7 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
You cannot give up another score because really, there's not a lot of time for NDCL to even come back and get another score.
No.
Especially with the clock running out. I mean, unless they get a quick hitter, they're going to take it down to inside 4 minutes.
Yeah, this is clock killing time here for the Bengals, and they're doing a fine job of it here in the 4th quarter. As they're still getting the play in. The play clock is at 10. And now Schultz will get them ready at 7 seconds, 6 seconds, 5 seconds. They got to hurry here. Play clock is at 3, 2, 1, and they get it off with 1 second. Oh, and now the Bengals will take a timeout. They actually, I tell you, Schultz got it off with 1 second on the play clock, but I think Jerry Good probably wanted him maybe to snap it with maybe more than 1 second on the play clock. It just looked a smidge disorganized there. 6:22 to go in the fourth quarter. It'll be a 2nd and 8 out of the timeout.
Well, the Bengals don't really need to stockpile timeouts, up by 2 touchdowns with 6:22 left in the game. They just need to make sure they don't do anything silly, a turnover, an errant pass, a wrong route, to let Notre Dame come back quickly and cut it to a one-score game.
All right, first final in from Tyler Carey. Aurora 31, Barberton 7. So that's going to really affect things. And also Streetsboro now, that's a final over Coventry, 56-0. So that's going to affect things in both Region 9 and Region 5. At least I believe Barberton's either in Region 5 or Region 6. I want to say they're in Region 5 off the top of my head.
How do you hold Barberton to...
I don't know. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
That is a superb on-the-road defensive effort tonight by Bob Mihalik's Greenmen. I think we're starting to see now they're for real. We started talking about teams that are having renaissance seasons after maybe a down year in 2018. Schultz pumping once, throwing long, looking for Gales in the end zone, overshot him, incomplete.
Great coverage. There was a man with Gales that time, step
for step.
Yes.
Yep. This Benedictine team last year they were 4-6, and now if this thing holds, they're going to be 6-1. Aurora. Aurora, I think, was 7-3 last year, but they missed the postseason. Right. We're used to seeing Bob Mihalik's team in the postseason every year. They're now 7-0.
We know they're tough teams. We know they're physical teams. But again, I know Barberton lost their top back, transferred to Buchtel in the offseason.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is they're still explosive.
We may see them next week as Edwards in motion, back to throw Schultz, sets up a bubble screen. Gales has it at the 30. He's to the 20. He gets a first down to the 18, still on his feet, and finally down at the 17-yard line. Gales is not easy to bring down, as we've got a couple of NDCL players slow to get up, but they're okay. But it'll be a first down for NDCL inside the 20-yard line near the 17.
6'1", 195. Again, Gales, Rosser, these are good high school receivers.
Yeah, we mentioned Rosser is a verbal commit to Akron to play for the Zips. Tom Arth will love him.
You know what Tom Arth told me? Because they've got the wagon wheel tomorrow, 3:30.
Yes.
Tom, what are you doing right after the game? He goes, Lakewood Stadium. He goes,
Yeah.
There's players on both sides.
Right.
They need to be wearing the Z on the side of their helmet.
Because I was talking to Tyler Carey, who's our digital producer and kind of helps us engineers. We've got another timeout for the Bengals.
Hey, I got to shout out good friend Brandon Barrow, pride of the Comets. Solon has just gone ahead of Euclid.
Wow.
He shot me the scoreboard and everything.
Oh, the evidence.
Thank you, Brandon.
Buford T. Justice would appreciate that, the evidence. By the way, thank you, Tyler, telling the Magics are Region 6. They were 8th before tonight. And they've got to deal with Massillon next week. So that is a devastating loss for them tonight to lose at home to Aurora. Menor, by the way, is a final. They shut out Brunswick 45-0. Again, they're just steamrolling. They're steamrolling, past Medina, past Solon, and now tonight past Brunswick, taking no prisoners in a very good conference. Unbelievable.
And they are dismantling good football team.
Yeah. All right, out of the timeout. And by the way, Benedictine has no timeouts remaining. Not that they really needed here, up 14, but now they've got a 1st and 10 at the NDCL 17 out of the timeout. Schultz from the shotgun, and it's a reverse. Rogers will get it. Running left side. Schultz out front blocking at the 15. Rogers upended inside the 10 and gets close to the first down. Depending on where he landed on the tumble, it'll be very close to 1st and goal.
Now,
I think I'll mark him at the 5.
Schultz is as tough a kid as you can get. 6'1", 175. He's only a junior. However, do you want your quarterback out there leading the blocking?
Probably not.
He's probably demanding it.
You know what, though? If we go down and we talked to Ron after the game, we'll have to ask him about that. They're going to mark Rogers down at the 5. It'll be 1st and goal and a good pickup for Andre Rogers.
And the clock keeps ticking and ticking.
And we're approaching 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and Benedictine trying to put it away right here. 1st and goal. Under center is Schultz. And he'll turn, give, Jalen Edwards. Edwards upended at the line of scrimmage, and down he goes at the 5.
Great defense that time, and the person that made the play is coming back off, so they keep shifting fresh legs in there, fresh bodies.
I mean, the Lions have played tough defense tonight, and they say, well, they've got 28 points. I mean, Benedictine's offense coming in was averaging 43 points per game, just under 400 yards of total offense per game.
Nathan Slattery was the man on that tackle, wrestled him to the ground.
2nd and goal from the 5. The Bengals don't mind right now. They're running clock to their heart's content here.
They're making a cup of coffee. They're getting cups of cake. Yeah.
No gain on the play.
2nd and goal from the 5.
Second down.
Play clock is at 1. There's going to be a delay of game. They can't stop the clock.
They don't have a
timeout. Yeah.
Either. Did you see Schultz look to the bench and made a team move? But,
Yeah.
You don't have one.
We don't have one.
He must know Chris Webber.
Yeah, that's right. Thankfully, in football, there are no technical fouls, so you can whistle for a timeout, and the official will turn and say, son, you don't have one.
Dino, are you
back
ready
to the
for
10.
This?
What you got?
We're getting it back from the soul, and Euclid just scored on 2 plays, a play-action 60-yard run, so now it's at least 23-20 Euclid. That's without the extra point.
Oh, that's what a great game tonight.
Wow.
Here it's 28-14, Benedictine over NDCL. 4:14 to go in the fourth quarter. 2nd and goal now from the 10 after that delay of game penalty. And that will move Ron Schultz back to a pistol look with Edwards standing first behind him. Now he'll shift to the left. 4 wide receivers, lot in motion. They fake to him. Schultz steps up in trouble, and he'll be put down for a sack back at the 11-yard line. Steven Degner among those in on the play. That's his 2nd sack of the year, although I think it'll be an assisted sack. And it'll bring up 3rd and goal.
Dino, I have to tell you something very cool. People are getting tuned in. They love high school football on Friday night.
HBO, baby.
Joe and Ashland tuning in WKYC.com.
Ah, good to have Joe.
I don't know his last name, but Joe and Ashland, welcome.
We like hearing. Hey, listen, we like hearing from Joe. We thank everybody for joining us tonight from Lions Stadium. It'll be 3rd and goal for Benedictine at the 10-yard line. Play clock down to 10 as they break formation here. 1 receiver to the right. They've got now 2 to the left. 3 to the left make it. Edwards will shift as they throw over on the left side. The pass incomplete. Close to being a lateral. I think it was over. That might have been Angelo Lott, the intended receiver. But the good news here for Benedictine, they've got a good field goal kicker, and they'll set up here to try to stretch out this 14-point lead with 3:18 to go.
I'm not trying to deviate, but, youngest daughter has a steady boyfriend. I think it's pretty serious. So his dad and wife are out on the town. Now, they're in Columbus.
Oh, with WKYC.com's own Bud Shaw.
I know, Bud's my dog, too. You know that?
I love Bud Shaw.
You're my dog.
You my dog.
Thank you.
All right, this will be a 27-yard field goal attempt. Ball is down. Kick is up. It has plenty of distance, and this time, Yvonne Churon boots it through.
Bro, can I tell you something?
31-14.
That was a 27-yard kick?
Yes.
No, that was a 50-yard kick. He had easily another 25 yards on it.
31-14 Benedictine, and that will cause more of the NDCL faithful here to head for the exits in front of us and around us.
Boy, sure. I mean, Benedictine, except for the blemish last week against Holman, and most schools get.
I was going to say that's
wow.
I would love to see this Benedictine team play like a Massillon and see how they would do against the Tigers.
That's who Holman beat last year to win it all.
Yeah.
It's again taking you back to the old John Adams Field days in the East Senate. I'm surprised I haven't heard the "We Are the Bengals, the Mighty Mighty Bengals." Everywhere we go, people want to know.
Well, when we go down there at the end of the game, that might be what we hear. Munch and I will head down on the field afterwards, and we will talk to Coach Jarrett Good. We'll probably grab Ronnie Schultz as well, and you can have those interviews, but you'll see those interviews on Twitter and at WKYC.com.
Just found out they're in downtown Cincinnati. Shaw rules the whole state, doesn't he?
Oh, he does. Oh, my goodness. This has been all WKYC.com night here. We had Jay Crawford with us at halftime, and I really hope you've checked out. If you haven't, please do check out Lunch Break with Jay Crawford. It'll be Monday through Friday at noon on 3 News and also on our social media platforms and at WKYC.com, as this kick is going to be out of the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10 at the 20 for the Lions with 3:14 to play in the football game.
Jay does not need a reference for me. But the bottom line is this, is that as good a human being as
Yes.
there is, thank golly he ended up back home. We're so glad. And dude, I got to tell you what, you're stockpiling freaking the A-team over there.
Well, we're trying to. We're trying to.
You and Jimmy, of course. You got Cummings, my common brother. Bud Shaw, of course, Jay Crawford.
Jay Crawford. We just on our sports team, we've got Ben Axelrod, Matt Florjancic, Stephanie Metzger, TC himself, Tyler Carey, who's holding down the fort for us tonight. That's just sport. That's just our sports team. We can talk about our we have a new weather forecaster. We mentioned Jason Frazier's joined us. We like what we're doing at 3 News. On 1st down, here's Sharp. He's flushed. He's going to be sacked back at the 19-yard line.
Sack. Boy, they were just blanketed. They being the receivers. And Dino, kind of cool. We just picked up somebody else at WKYC.com. My program director saying, make sure you have a voice tomorrow to do Home and Ant.
Oh, Mr. Davis! Please give him my regard. I love Mr. Davis.
Actually, Akron Canton.
Oh, Akron Canton. Okay.
Keith Kennedy's assistant, Joshua Nagy.
Gotcha. Well, you give Joshua our best. 2nd down and 11. Sharp to throw. Lofts one deep left side. And it's incomplete, but we got a flag down and an interference intended for David Martin Kosher.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, good job that time for a defender to be right there. But as he was looking for the ball with his right hand, guess where his left hand was? Pulling on to the receiver.
Tugging on jersey. Yeah. 2:38 to go here in the 4th quarter. 31-14 Benedictine. Don't let that score deceive you. If you kind of joined us a little bit later here, this has been a tight ball game. The Bengals have kind of pulled away here with 10 points in the 4th quarter. And as this penalty will get marked off, NDCL is going to look back and really regret. They'll move it up to the 35-yard line, 1st down from there.
Which was not scoring the first time when they got it?
Yeah, they had NDCL had 2 misfires in the red zone, as that interference makes it 1st down and 10, an interception. And also a fumble, as this one will go deep left side. We're going to have another pass interference, as again, David Martin Kosher, the intended receiver, and Andre Rogers is like, I didn't do anything, Mr. Official. I didn't do anything. They got tripped up.
He didn't do anything intentional. But he did trip him, and you got to throw a flag on that.
But as we were saying, John Sharp was intercepted by Matthew Stauffer at the goal line, and then later in the football game, inside the 20-yard line, Wynn fumbled. And those 2 miscues really have come back to haunt the Lions tonight.
Right there.
Yeah. Another 15-yard penalty. Move it to midfield now. 1st down from there. 2:28 to go here in the 4th quarter. Sharp to throw. Steps up. Fires. Wynn with the catch. 1st down at the 40. He goes middle of the field. Got hit at the 35-yard line and down there. He lost the football, but he was already down when the ball popped loose. 15 more yards. Another 1st down.
And that was a Bengal coming from the trenches.
Indeed.
To mop up on the play from behind so Wynn couldn't get loose.
Wynn has had flashes tonight of daylight, but just has not been able to have that big home run play that I think the Lions had hoped.
Well, I like that Wynn and Robinson.
I do too.
Right there,
I do too. Robinson now, the deep man in the pistol. Wynn goes out wide left. From the 35, Sharp looking deep, left side, pass caught. David Martin Kosher with a great catch inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. Another 1st down. That's a gain of 22.
In between 2 Bengal defenders, a beautiful pass. Concentration. That's the only way you're to catch that football.
They'll mark it at the 14. Boy, David Martin Kosher has had a terrific football game catching passes.
Pretty good punter, too.
Yeah. He only had 4 receptions coming into tonight, but including that big touchdown, he has been terrific. He'll be one of the receivers on the trip's right side. 1 receiver left, that's Mitchell. Back to throw, Sharp. Looking, Martin Kosher, incomplete.
No flag.
There was contact there, no flag this time.
They must have said it was uncatchable out of the end zone, because definitely the receiver got bumped pretty good.
Yeah, they were looking at him that time. Why not? He's been red hot. 2nd and 10. Clock stops. 1:52 to go in the football game. 2nd and 10 from the 14-yard line.
You know, interesting, you saw one of the Bengals coaches just pop out of the box and they're wearing T-shirts that have the Flying B, which is just one of the premier.
Oh, I love the logo. Oh.
With the Flying B and underneath.
And the powder blue jerseys.
Bengals versus everyone. So,
there you go. I like that.
You got to have an attitude, right?
Yeah. Sharp to throw on second down, looks left, now throws left, pass caught at the 15, to the 10. It's Wynn, goes to the pylon, and he's in. Touchdown, NDCL.
Very cool. I didn't think he got in.
I wasn't sure either.
Very good stuff. 1:44 left in the game. Sharp to win. 14-yard touchdown pass.
Boy, appreciate the heart of this Notre Dame-Cathedral Latin team as it's now 31-20. It's an 11-point lead. I would assume they're going to go for 2 here. I mean, really, it's still a 2-score game no matter how you slice it with 1:44 to play here in the football game.
Yeah.
But I got to tell you, after such a devastating loss last week to Padua, you wondered how this Lions team was going to come back this week. And it's unfortunately not going to show up in the win column, but they came ready to play tonight, and a few unfortunate miscues are going to have to be the tail of the tape here in what looks like a probable defeat. As they'll fake to Robinson, the throw to the back of the end zone is incomplete, and it will remain 31-20 as NDCL will prepare for an onside kick.
Dino, I've always say, go with your boots on, okay? That's exactly.
And I appreciate that.
Oh, they've gone down fighting.
How about this?
Comets back?
No.
Ah.
The Kenston Bombers, for the second year in a row, lose at the last play of the game.
The
17-16.
It's a field goal by Chardon.
Ziggengoose, 26-yard field goal as time expires. Mitch Hewitt and the Hilltoppers beat the defending state champions 17-16.
2 years in a row. That was at Chardon this year, though, right?
Yeah. You know what?
You're speechless.
I'm speechless. Well, and it's funny, though, Munch. Willoughby South gave Kenston a scare last week.
Very much so.
And you sat there and you said, well, this is going to be a revenge game. Will the Bombers be ready? Of course they'll be ready. Jeff Grubich will have them ready. But that's a big, big win for the Chardon Hilltoppers. Congratulations to Mitch Hewitt and his team. Second year in a row. And by the way, though, I'd look out for Kenston the rest of the year. And by the way, Week 10, you want to talk about a game to mark on your calendar for Week 10. Kenston's got Mayfield at home in Week 10.
And I'll tell you this, man.
Here's the onsides, and it is going to be downed and fielded by Benedictine at the 44-yard line.
What does Mayfield hang their hats on? Defense. And hitting you and making sure you feel the hits.
Matthew Stauffer recovers that onside kick for Benedictine. Solon just took, here you go, Pat McQuaid on a keeper. Just put the Comets on top of the Panthers, 27-24 with a minute to go.
It's interesting because the Panthers and Comets both have had place kicks today that have been true.
Yeah.
Maybe you could, you know what, you want to win. You don't want to go to overtime on the road.
So before on the onside kick, there was a penalty.
The game is at Euclid.
The game is at Euclid, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. NDCL's got to kick it again. So, again, the Good Hands team has to come back on the field here for Benedictine. As this time they'll mark it at the 35 and kick it off again. And trying to...
You get all the backup receivers, quarterbacks.
Your Good Hands team.
Yes.
Minute 43 to go, an 11-point lead for Benedictine as NDCL will again try the onsides. They'll angle it to the right. I don't even think it went 10 yards.
No, it did not.
And... it was, I think Stauffer might have gotten it anyway, but it didn't go 10 yards. So it'll be for Benedictine football anyway, 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
I like the Stauffer kid. Boy, he's
I do too.
A hard-nosed player, backup quarterback. He's a senior, but he's settled into that niche as a safety, as a DB, and he's played a great, great football game.
So as you might have heard the officials say, first down Benedictine with a minute 42 to go. The Lions have all their timeouts remaining, although I would imagine, I don't know here if Andrew Mooney will burn them all here. Benedictine about to go to 6-1 NDCL will drop to 3-4.
On the line.
And as we mentioned earlier, the way the playoff chase is going, and this is going to be a big win tonight for the Bengals. As they'll go on the ground, Edwards with the carry, and breaks the tackle at the 40. He's to the 35, to the 30, cuts inside the 25, stays in bounds, and is put down at the 22.
If you saw, Edwards almost on his own stopped running to absorb the hit, saying, you know what, right now the important thing is to let the clock run down, and bang, it'll stop for a second as they set the change. But just a great heady run again by Edwards. And, boy, the line of Benedictine continues to dominate.
22 yards on that run. Edwards well over 100. Timeout taken by the Lions with 1:31 to go. They've got 2 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Well, my friend, this is our last one of the year probably, because you're going to be doing Holben games Friday nights. Now, again, what station? Is that 1350?
That is on Fox Sports 1350.
Okay.
Now, question for you.
Yes.
When you go into the playoffs.
Yes.
Well, then if Holben's on a Saturday, I look forward to joining you on Friday.
I hope so. I know a lot of those Division II games are Friday nights, but I'll have to double check to make sure which games might be on Fridays and which are on Saturdays. But I hope we can have you back here again in this 2019 high school football season. Again, next week, starting on Monday, you can go on to WKYC.com, also on your 3 News app, and vote for your choice for the game of the week for week number 8. Your options: Maslin at Barberton, Bay at Rocky River,
in Holy Name
EC. At EC.
Roll, wave, roll.
Yes. Playoff implications in all 3 of those games.
Does EC still have grass, or have they gone to field trip?
I think they still have grass at Knights of Columbus. I'm pretty sure they still do.
Yeah, and I understand with all the sports that are played, you can see the soccer lines here. Actually, they'll play lacrosse on these fields.
It's become so important, and there are very few schools now that, in my travels now, going all across Northeast Ohio here on WKYC.com doing these games. You see very few grass fields now.
Well, they are using every second of their timeout, aren't they?
Well, yeah, they are. And there was something for Andrew Mooney is on the field, and he's pointing to the scoreboard, so I'm wondering if there's a clock concern there for the coach. 1st and 10 for the Bengals at the 22-yard line of NDCL. 31-20 Benedictine. With $1:26 to play in the game.
Edwards is going to get a few more carries between the tackles.
I would think so. I would think so. In motion, Merrill. Jalen Edwards will get the carry, swings it to the left, inside the 15. He goes to the 10. He goes towards the 5, lost the football, and it went out of bounds. The football did at about the 3-yard line. It will still be Benedictine football, and it'll be 1st and goal.
19-yard run for Edwards, and again, the run was designed to go inside the tackles, but that's his instinct.
Yep.
As soon as he hit, saw no hole, he bounced it on the outside on his own.
I've been so impressed watching him run the football tonight. As we now approach 1 minute to play here in this fourth quarter.
The Comets of Solon have beaten Euclid 27-24.
What a huge win.
Wow, that's all I can say.
Knocking the Panthers from the ranks of the unbeaten. And it looks like now, let's see, Schultz will go under center. 1st and goal at the 3. Pitch out. Edwards running left towards the pylon. Sidesteps his way in. Yep, touchdown. Jalen Edwards to put a cherry on top of a victory for the Benedictine Bengals. 37-20 after that Edwards touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And for Jalen Edwards, that is touchdown number 14 on the season.
Edwards got him down there. Why deny the kid a shot to get in the end zone?
Why not?
Mm-hmm.
With 41 seconds to go, and that will continue to have fans utilizing the exit formation out of Lions Stadium here on the NDCL side.
Just such a beautiful campus, beautiful.
Top notch. Extra point is good.
Over 91 in Mayfield, it's like, have I just driven into Shangri-La?
Yeah, I was thinking about that when I'm driving on 322 when you get off at 271, and you're sitting there. Once you pass Chesterland, you're sitting there going, I'm in another world here.
Yeah,
it's
isn't it beautiful?
It's beautiful here in the hills of Geauga County. I love it here.
It's also beautiful here in the winter when you get 6 feet of snow.
Yes. Now, if you're lucky, if you can, get a sled dog, hit your way over to Alpine Valley, you can do some skiing. Now, if you're into that kind of thing. Now, me myself, I prefer the west side. I'm not a snowbelt guy.
Dino, I'll tell you something. Growing up,
You got to be brave. You got to be brave to live out here.
Growing up on the east side and moving from the city out to Solon for high school, when Mrs. Munch first took me out to the west side, I live on the west side now.
Yeah.
Been there for, 28 years, but the first thing I wondered if I would still use silverware, okay? Because I'm not that hardy of a guy. I'm a snobby east sider. But then you turn it around. The second thing I noticed in winter saying, there's no snow.
No, I know.
I mean, you get 2-3 inches. You go back to visit Dad in Solon, and he'd have 2 feet.
Oh, there's nothing quite like driving on the 480 bridge from the east side to the west side when you realize snow to no snow. It's crazy.
Isn't it amazing?
I know. I love it. 41 seconds to go. Benedictine, after the extra point, leads now 38-20. 3 touchdown passes tonight from Ronnie Schultz and a pair of touchdown runs for Jalen Edwards. And 2 touchdown catches for Charles Rosser. Yeah, the superstars came out tonight for the Bengals.
And again, the Bengals did not play their best game against Hoban, and hence when you make a mistake against Hoban, it's over.
Yeah, there were, the penalties, I think, for the Bengals probably, Jarrett Good is going to want to talk about that, as David Martin Cozier will bring it out to the 25 and put out at the 26. Yeah, I mean, there are a few things tonight, penalties and such, but for the most part, I thought the Bengals were sharp tonight, especially on the offensive side. Very, very sharp.
They were very, very, and, they were sharp to the point. Everything they did it good.
Yeah.
They did it better than good.
And your reward is 6-1 as they're about to pick up the victory here with 32 seconds to go. Lions will take over at their own 26-yard line. Munch now again will head on the field. We will talk to head coach Jarrett Good. We'll maybe grab a quick word with Ronnie Schultz. A couple quick finals. Hudson over North Royalton, 43-17. Avon over North Olmsted, 38-7. So Mike Elder's Eagles did pull away there in the fourth quarter. Although, I mean, the North Olmsted Eagles.
That is, yeah.
North Olmsted Eagles gave it a good fight tonight as the throw from Sharp for Martin Cozier is incomplete at the 45-yard line with 25 seconds to go.
Hey, you got, you've second down, 25 seconds. Take 3 more shots.
Why not? And David Martin Cozier has played a superlative game tonight.
He is one heck of a football player.
6'2". They say, again, he's another one. They say he's 6'2", but to me, he looks like he's more like 6'4". He really has been a matchup problem with his size tonight for Benedictine secondary. 2nd and 10. Out of the pistol, John Sharp throws to Martin Cozier, drops the football. Sorry, David, I just talked you up, and he was trying to run it before he had it in his hands, and he put it down on the ground at the 30-yard line, incomplete.
He wanted to make something happen, and there was a welcoming party for him all in powder blue.
Yeah. Darrell Bedingfield over on the coverage. 3rd down and 10 with 22 seconds to go here in the football game. Excited to talk to Ron Schultz and Jarrett Good after this one.
Well, Schultz is one. I got to ask him about his blocking prowess.
Yeah, on that reverse.
Charge, yes. More than one time he's been the first guy out there.
But he was almost perfect throwing the football tonight. As Sharp will roll right, throws. Pass is caught. Mitchell's got it. First down to the 40, out of bounds at the 41. Clock stops with 12 seconds to go. As Jimmy Mitchell had a touchdown run earlier in this football game and gets his first catch, I believe, of the game. And we didn't see him much at quarterback tonight, but he was still a factor. But John Sharp did a good job running this offense, except, of course, for the red zone miscue. But, I mean, I thought Sharp bounced back from that and played much better after that interception.
Sharp is a good quarterback.
Yes, he is.
He's a football player. And to come back like he did, his teammates picked him up, his coaches picked him up. Yep. Nothing to hang your head on.
No. I thought he looked good tonight. As he steps up on the roll right, looking, he'll tuck and run and takes it out of bounds through about the 46-yard line. 4 seconds to go, out of bounds. Stops the clock, and it gives the Lions here one more shot.
Well, I'll tell you what I saw, too. 5 Benedictine defenders, 3 wide receivers. They're going to be covered.
Yeah. They'll mark it at the Lions' 46-yard line. 4 seconds to go. So last gasp here for NDCL. Of course, just as the game ends, the rains start to pick up again, although it's kind of more of a lighter mist than it was earlier.
Well, after getting called out by Gerbich and Kenston, I will go down to the rain.
As that throw is incomplete, and that will do it in the football game. Your final tonight here at Lions Stadium, the Benedictine Bengals 38 and the Notre Dame-Cathedral Latin Lions 20. With the win, Benedictine now 6-1, and NDCL will drop to 3-4. Partner, it's been a fun 3 weeks with you this year. I thank you for coming, and I hope we can do this again in the postseason. And or maybe I can talk Denise Pulverine and let the boss, the digital queen of 3 News, maybe us doing some basketball together. You never know. I'm just saying.
My eyes just got big like silver dollars.
I know. I'm just saying. You never know. All right, guys. Again, Munch and I are heading on the field. We'll have post-game conversations coming up for you. We'll post them on Twitter and at WKYC.com so you won't miss them.
I'm going to get bum rushed by the Bengals, you think?
It's possible. Make it 2 weeks in a row. I mean, the Longhorns started a trend. All right. For Mark Munch Bishop, I'm Dave DeNatale. Thanks so much for listening tonight. Again, your final from Lions Stadium, Benedictine 38, NDCL 20. Thanks so much. And this has been a presentation of 3 News WKYC. Have a good night, everyone.